and ahoy, g'day once again to ye mateys! I be your increasingly hairy and bearded DM, Josh the Pirate, and it brings me more satisfaction than the amount of carbon dioxide that gets pumped into the atmosphere by all of the fossil fuel industries in the world to bring you back to Corsair's Cove and my Humblewood world of monsters and magic. Above me, I have me hearty crew, the opinionated Karen Schlink, the optimistic Brendan Ellis, the occasional Daria surname redacted, and our special guest for tonight, the obliging Dan Suelto. So, let's talk about these wonderful people. Brendan, who the heck are you?
I am hecking Brendan Ellis. I'm an actor and director in Perth. My mostly sellout season of The Last Days of Judas Iscariot has just finished. That was last week. That was pretty poggy. Don't know why I said that, but it was. So now I'm having a month of sleep, but I'm very happy to be here. As always, I'm Brenter in chat, where I will be shitposting.
Splendid. Karen, who the absolute heck are you?
Hey, I'm Karen. I am a writer, a performer. As Josh said, I'm very opinionated. Today's opinion, what do I want to go with for this, actually?
Oh, dear God.
I could have some pretty edgy opinions right now, but I'm going to go with that Diet Coke is better than Coke no sugar.
Strong.
Also,
Correct opinion.
There's a podcast I'm in called There Be Dragons. You should go and listen to it. There's plenty of back catalogue episodes for you to enjoy. There is a new episode coming soon. Not sure exactly when. We're trying to get the sound guy to finish it.
It's Tom's fault.
It is Tom's fault.
Go over to Nerds of the West. Go on over to Nerds of the West. They are live currently, and tell Tom to get on it. I know he's probably not there. It's Reese tonight, I expect. Daria, who the heck are you?
Oh boy, let me remember. Well, my name is Daria. I am an artist. I play D&D here and on Mondays at the Eldritch Scribe channel. We have funs, and I have no strong opinions. I am an empty vessel for all the memes and other thoughts to come in. So that's my thing.
That is not my experience of you, but okay.
Flying so soon into the ep.
Dan, my friend, who the heck are you?
That's me. Hi, I am D-Reb in the cyberspace, Dan in the meat space, that's Smolly. I am basically everywhere in silence. So just giving the good vibes silently like a Cupid assassin, I guess, but less in the matchmaking department and definitely less in the might lead to tragedy department. Aside from that, welcome. I hope you're having a great day and you absorb all the good vibes that is abound. Boom. Dab.
I've missed you,
What
Dan.
an emotional roller coaster that intro just was.
For someone with nothing else to spruik.
He may be watching you while you sleep.
Yeah, but only because he likes you, but not in a friend way.
I like it, but not in a friend way. That's a good phrase.
I'm also here. Spina doesn't know how he got here.
Neither do we, Spina.
Neither
It's been
do
a long
I.
series of complicated decisions.
Bruh.
Many of them confusing.
And good evening, Spina. I am Blue Tiger. Thank you for joining us. I don't know I am Blue Tiger, but nice to have you. Welcome. Another thing. Karen and I had a pretty crappy beginning of our year. But it's nothing compared to the beginning of the year that the Ukrainian people started dealing with on the 24th of February. And Karen, tell us about Ukraine.
Well, Josh, temptation to just talk random geological facts about Ukraine to avoid talking about the terrible things that are happening there. A lot of people are dead, a lot of things are destroyed, and a lot of people have been displaced. So a number of charities have banded together to form the Emergency Action Appeal, which is helping Ukrainians fleeing violence. There were some 8 million Ukrainians displaced so far, so it's a lot of people to help. Last time I checked, they'd raised nearly $2 million. They will also be receiving a $2 million donation from the Australian government. And you can donate via the link in chat. So if you have a few spare pennies, feel free to chuck it to them, because I'm sure they'll do some good with it. At least we sincerely hope they are. If it's a scam, please let us know, but we're pretty sure it's not. That sounded really like untrusting. Like the government's giving it a thumbs up. That means it's okay, right? Right? Right?
No.
We always trust our government.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Ding. Sponsor us, government.
Fun fact, the Australian government, one of the Australian government ministers started a crowdfunding for flood victims once, instead of, releasing government emergency funds.
Thank you
He's
for
doing
the
his
follow,
best.
Life of Fantasy.
Clearly
And-
for the insightful
this
political
is-
commentary from Karen, who may be slightly delirious for some
Karen
reason.
has some opinions. I
I
don't
need a
disagree.
coffee after all of that opinions.
Polyester is the worst fabric.
There you go. There's another.
Damn.
Just shots fired. On
Just out
polyester.
here, just
Mesdames
I
et
miss
messieurs,
Target.
dames und herren and beings of indeterminate gender persuasion, I be Josh the Pirate. I'm the owner-operator, of course, as Cove, along with my lovely lady wife. And you can find me here on Mondays and Thursdays where I play D&D. I also come along some Tuesdays and play Warhammer Total War. I didn't do it this week because I got to go and see a live podcast recording instead. I apologize, but free shit comes my way sometimes, and I take it. You can also find me on stage doing Paparotica sometimes, and in the podcast There Be Dragons, where I play the infamous and deadly pirate Scanfelspar und his little dragon, Roche. Links in chat. What else do we need to talk about? Oh yeah, I'm also DMing for Jasper's Game Week, which is very exciting. It's coming up in the next little while, and the auctions have been extended until tomorrow. So anybody who wants to play at my table, your last chance to bid on that. Who's the other half of the French Paparotica?
I do, Spina. Thank
Hurtful,
you.
Spina. Hurtful.
Let's face it. If Josh got hit by a bus, Paparotica would continue. If I
Oh.
got hit by a bus,
It would probably change a bit because I'd have to write it. If you fancy going
What
over,
a weird vibe right now.
yeah.
I don't
So
think.
if Josh got hit by a bus, which isn't going to happen,
no, absolutely not. Like this
I
is going to
was
come
not
back to
all
haunt
this.
me, isn't it? Josh is going to
Chat,
get hit by a bus,
I
and I'm
am
going to end up in
scared,
court being
chat.
accused
Oh
of
yeah,
him.
you're going
And they're
to
going to play
jail.
this
This
clip
is
going,
live.
look how casually she jokes about pushing him in front of a bus. What a psycho.
with no care at all, no love in her eyes.
And I'll just be like, I just have a very dark sense of humor. Leave me alone.
I think
So
I'm bearing witness to tragedy.
Well, if I disappear in the next week, everyone, you know why.
It's really always the spouse anyway.
I must also remind our bright, shiny, and possibly even glistening audience to please like, follow, and subscribe to all the things. We have all the socials. And you can check out all, and I say this not lightly at all the episodes you may have missed on our YouTube. Every single one of them is up there now. Even the mysterious missing episode from the charity week that we did last week on Roll for Damage. I even managed to get that working. That is up on the YouTube. We don't have a Discord yet. Spina.
He's going to keep asking
But
till you
thank
do
you
it.
for trying. No, I did say it is sort of the next job on the list. It's there. It's ready. I'm actually going to invite Spina after this. I'm just going to send you an invite via Whispers, Spina. You can come and hang out with us. It's really, at the moment, it's just cast, but you can come too. And
Look,
Can
he
we get
rolls
a-
so much, he's basically cast at this point.
pretty much, yeah. Spina's seen more of these than Daria has. Spina's probably seen more of these than Brendan has.
Yeah.
All right. Well, mateys, what the heck happened last week?
Are
you asking us?
Particular to talk about?
Do you want to do a recap? Maybe catch Dan up on stuff so that they know.
Sure. Oh,
Let's go.
I wish I had
Throw
prepared
this at
this.
you. Yeah.
Okay, so there was a lot of cleanup to do at the beginning of last week's session. Ereq and Kesh came back from a wedding to discover that A, Javier hadn't returned from being shady, and B, Arthur, who had been left under the care and guidance of Julio, was now a boat. I mean, he was always a boat, but now he was a boat with zombies, and he wasn't going to come back. So that was really fun for everyone to talk about. After they put aside their shared emotional trauma, they went to Alderheart so that Kesh could get fired.
She didn't.
I wasn't fired!
It definitely happened. It's indisputable that Kesh was fired. She was made redundant and is now jobless and homeless and has to live on $450 a week. Even
Fortnite.
that is
Fortnite, dude.
Yeah.
Don't oversell
Yeah, I was going to say that's a lot. Yeah. While she was at the bar getting drunk, recovering from this absolute blow, she was hit on by someone not of her species, who said, "Hey, want a root?" And then he meant the tree that we live in, the roots of that tree. And by roots, I also mean a branch.
Branches. Yeah.
I'm remembering this very different.
Well, this was thrown at me. I'm the only one who stepped up, so
Hey,
this
look.
is what you get.
No, I'm supporting it.
Yes, Tavernish Fawkes, the slightly shady bard, appeared and told us all of some possible corruption that was happening amongst the ranks of the Wildwood Brigade, or even potentially the council. So we investigated that through a secret tunnel in the back of the Wildwood Brigade headquarters, which led to some shady tunnels within the auditory itself, which is taboo. It has always been taboo. It's been taboo for over 50 sessions. It has always been law. It has always been canon.
Yeah.
We will book no disagreement.
We found some robes, some religious vestments, and a chapel. So we're pretty sure there is a bird folk cult going on. We didn't see any sign of any non-bird folk, which shocked Ereq 0%. And it culminated in them finding an office, which Tavernish had previously found. We found some slightly incriminating things, such as the remains of a letter from Pirate from Scops, and the start of a name starting with LAR. And we are slightly suspicious, just a little bit, slightly suspicious of Larimar's involvement, but we know that isn't a certainty, but it's still pretty sus. And Tavernish had the genius idea to sabotage the inkwell that we found in that office, so that if it does get used, then the hands of the perpetrator will be stained. All it requires is for us to be looking at the hands of every single person in the Alderheart forever. But it's a good plan otherwise.
Look, it has a low chance of success, but if it works, hey, great.
Yeah.
Look,
I'm being
it was a neat idea.
It was a very good idea. It's just
given that you know where to look, or you at least think you do. It's more
it's
a
not
way
like
of
we
sort of
don't have a
confirming
suspect.
Yes.
Yeah.
When we decided there was nothing else to find there, Ereq had a big brain / small brain moment and decided to commune with the Alderheart, with
Enormous
the giant tree itself. And surprisingly, his brain did not explode, but he had some things vaguely confirmed, and Hope, the fire elemental who Ereq had thought had died, had been awakened and restored inside of him. And
Yeah.
that's where we left it.
Pretty much. Dan, how you going? You caught up?
Yeah, it was a wild ride.
Wow.
Yeah, I am ready.
Excellent.
So you're up to date with the party dynamics
Yeah. Now
and,
you
you know,
know
basically the
now
level
you
of
know
intrigue.
Everything.
Yeah. I
Okay.
am. Here we go.
Any questions before we begin?
Questions in post still
Okay.
happen.
All right.
Listen, I love this. For once, I am not the person the most clueless about what's going on. I love that.
So Dan has been in more episodes of My Humblewood World than anybody else. I think you beat out Rachel by one ep.
She's going to be
Take that,
salty about
Rachel.
that.
2 now. Mateys, may your job security be matchless and all your new acquaintances possess information on conspiracies as we head tremulously at first and then with mounting heat and passion into the Humblewood. So, Tavernish has gone on his way with a hearty farewell, and you suspect your paths may cross again in the future. So, Julio, Kesh, Ereq, it's about 5 in the morning. How would you spend your day? You did get a decent-ish night's sleep, but you just went to bed super early the night before, so you're not sleepy, I wouldn't have said, unless you decide you are. What would you be doing with your day?
Can I just ask to clarify, last session we ended just kind of in the middle of being in the offices, so did we reconvene somewhere to say our goodbyes to Tavernish? Are we at the Golden Horn or on the street?
I would have said the Golden Horn wouldn't be sort of open really for business at 5 in the morning.
What?
It's a fancy bar, they close. The gritty ones, they stay open. But I would have said you left the way you came, rather than going out the other entrance he knows. And I would have also thought you would probably have made an effort to not change anything else, not leave any sort of evidence of your presence on your way back out. There were 2 other paths, but I got the impression that as the day was as morning was approaching, you were wanting to sort of bug out now that you think you had the information you came looking for.
Like, Kesh would have been in favor of tapping out and coming back at a future point if required.
Now you know where it is as well. You can always go back down and have another look later on, particularly if you don't leave any particular trace of your passing. So I would have said you basically got back to the Wildwood Brigade headquarters, and Tavernish would have probably left you there. Not being 100% comfortable with being in the headquarters of a major law enforcement organization.
You're comfortable hitting on the former head of...
He wasn't hitting on you. In much the same way that you
and
didn't
I
lose
wasn't
your job.
Fired.
Yeah.
Sometimes people just decide things are true and nothing you can say can convince them otherwise.
Yep, sure. So Tavernish was hitting on you, and Kesh definitely doesn't have a job. So,
Okay,
what do you do?
We're there. Okay.
Yeah.
Do we have any plans for today? Did the council didn't have any jobs for us?
Well, I'm on leave for a couple of days while I apparently think about how I'm no longer in charge of this, which will be an adjustment, but you know, we'll get there. Breakfast?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Let's have some breakfast.
Question: if we know now that part of the Wildlife Brigade,
Wildwood.
Wildwood Brigade is very sus and corrupt, do we want to, I don't know, gather more information before we confront anyone, or maybe like spy?
Oh, absolutely. But my concern is not that them trying to make the Wildwood Brigade look sus, when in fact it's actually someone else.
How do we check that?
I'm not sure yet. I'm hoping an idea will occur to me midway through a plate of bug bacon and eggs.
Good idea.
Yeah, let's go eat and think and drink.
Cool. The nearest place to get food, particularly free food, would actually be the Wildwood Brigade's canteen. And
that would be
Kesh's
Kesh's suggestion, because it's definitely open at 5 a.m.
Yeah, and Kesh would also be fully able to get you all free food there, so...
And also, it might not be a bad idea to, like, eavesdrop and kind of do a little bit of sussing.
On who at 5 a.m.?
Whoever's there.
Whoever's there. Yeah, you are... So, you would head up, grab yourself some breakfast. Feel free to make perception checks, or if you would do something else in order to gather information, you may suggest other alternatives and checks to make.
Is investigation allowed?
Yeah, you'd probably notice slightly different things, but yes.
I'll stick with perception.
Mm-hmm.
Initially, Kesh was just going to sit and eat and listen, and then if she kind of gets anywhere with that, she's going to, like, chat to some people.
I rolled a 1. I think I am just way too preoccupied by the fact that they don't cook eggs well enough for my liking.
Yeah.
As
the
a
hash
chef,
browns are
I
soggy.
take offense. Yeah.
The hash browns are really quite mediocre.
So I nearly got a nat 20, and then it bounced off the screen of the side of my computer screen and became an 8. And I'm
15 is
that.
still quite good. So Ereq,
And so I might, if Kesh is doing perception, I might make mine insight, which is the same number.
Okay. Cool. Alrighty. So a 13 on insight. These peeps are grumpy. The Wildwood Brigade, initially, your sort of initial experience of, they were founded in adversity. They were built basically to be an army to fight the front lines of a war that they'd already been fighting. The ones that took the offer were really cool with being what they were. Like, there was a sense of optimism and hope about them. They were like, cool, we're legit now. We've actually got a job. We work for the government. Everything's coming up groovy. And these ones do not look like that anymore. Maybe it's because it's 5 a.m, but like, no one's that great at 5 a.m. But yeah, these guys are not as... Guys and girls are not happy bunnies and other woodland creatures. Kesh, a 15, you overhear more than one grumbling about the state of the pay. As in, you hear one specific someone say, grumble about the fact that the pay has been halved. Asking them to take a pay cut. That, like, they have been told, we're really sorry, you're only going to be paid half for a while.
Where's the fucking union?
Hey, Kesh. Since the aspect of fire has been defeated, and we were on cleanup duty for the remaining elementals, what's the brigade doing now?
Well, they're like the cops, aren't they?
Yeah, more of a militia. But they're being used in other ways now. So some of them are out on, like, literal cleanup duty rather than killing off monsters. They're being sent to, like, help rebuild. So somewhat of a militia, somewhere between, you know how you use the army to do more than just army stuff. They go out and actually, like, help in disaster relief and that sort of thing. So they are helping the refugees rebuild. They're helping, move stuff. Yeah. Field hospitals are being set up and overseen by military staff. Also, the Perch Guard were denuded, so there is a fair amount of actual, like, policing work as well. They're filling in some of the gaps there, but it's so that even at this stage, the Wildwood Brigade is only like 2.5 months old. It's not an old organization, so and it was formed very much in a fuck situation. So no one ever really took the time to say, right, let's figure out exactly what this is for and what we're going to use it for. That's probably the conversation that's now sort of being had. Now that everyone's had a time to think, we've got breathing space now. There is no war going on anymore, technically speaking. So now we've got this army we don't know what to do with. Let's figure that out. Yeah, that is your sort of the first half of your breakfast while you're listening to that and sort of gathering that. Julio, if you want to make a different check after your investigation, I'll welcome something else if you like.
I actually was thinking, as I've been in different organizations throughout my time. Some are more reputable than others.
Sure.
What do I know about the state of kind of, I wouldn't say governmental oversight, but like, what is the system of fail-safes if one group of like armed forces becomes too powerful or unruly? Like, what is done to keep that in check?
Pretty much the government is the final sort of check and balance there. And
That's the council.
You pretty much just everyone sort of just relies on them to oversee things properly, and for well over 300 years it's worked.
We don't need an anti-corruption watchdog.
Yeah, we don't need anything.
Everything's fine.
Yeah. So can I
Pay no attention to the money behind the curtain.
Yeah, I suppose I would like to like roll history or something to see if there were any instances I've heard of or seen where this
where that sort of thing happened before. Okay.
Yes.
Sure.
What's the humble my checks?
Wow.
Fight again.
Well, partially there is this like in the Humblewood, not really any historical incidents of this happening. The history of the race relations in Humblewood is a little bit fraught. All of the major settlements were established by the bird folk. The humble folk were nowhere near as... Saying organized isn't doing them justice. They were organized, but just they had
Ambitious.
no particular drive. Ambition is more of the trick. Whereas, there just wasn't any particular drive within the wood for a unified government. The government pretty much came out of the fact that there were so many people living in Alderheart. There was this one giant tree that a lot of people lived in, most of them bird folk. And so it was the bird folk who started living in the tree first because they were the birds. The birds live in trees. And the humble folk moved in later. So a lot of the things, a lot of the reason that a lot of the place is the way it is because it's just the way it's always been done. So it's just quite a conservative situation. It's not like we're deliberately excluding humble folk as, well, they didn't help set it up, and this is just the way that we do things. And it's worked fine so far.
The classic. This is the way we've always done it. Why should we fix it now?
Yeah. Why fix what isn't broken is
This is traditional.
Yeah. And I'm not making a political point with this story at all.
No, none of us are.
Thank you.
How good is oil consumption?
I know, right? Just the fossil fuels generally. That's what you know about this. And there have been incidences of it, but nothing huge scale. And it is democratically, all but one of the positions on the council are democratically elected. So if there is a degree of regulatory oversight, like people oversee the whole thing. The other thing to bear in mind is that growth. Alderheart has been getting bigger as the society becomes larger. The systems that worked when the place was small don't work so well when there's more people. There's more people to watch out for.
Okay. So
I feel like I just
do we want
described
to-
the rise and fall of the Roman Empire.
Hey. So, Kesh, Ereq, do we want to, feel out this L person
I'm sorry.
or
what?
not?
Uh,
The person, the the person who might be part of the cult? Do we want to suss them out?
Yes, we do. But I don't know if you guys just heard that, but they've given the whole Wildwood Brigade a pay cut.
We've seen a lot of money transactions in those ledgers.
Which makes me feel like I need to go talk to Charlotte Den.
Yeah.
Just because she might know when that happened. Because it feels a little bit suspect that I'm taken out of my position and sent away.
Yeah, I told you those eggs were undercooked.
Yeah, they really stick in your throat.
There's a lot of pepper in the air too.
Yeah, it just all feels a little bit hinky, and I'm not okay with it. I don't like hinky.
Not to hink shame, but if I think that speaking to Charlotte would be a good idea, but if you are a corrupt organization trying to corrupt another child organization, and you are taking out a uncorruptible person from the head of that organization, I would want to replace them with someone who was already in my pocket. So just keep that in mind.
So Charlotte is the person who has Kesh's job now.
Shyla, yes.
Shyla
Yeah.
Den, is that?
Yeah.
Shyla Den.
Tyler.
I will. I'm just going to interject with a little bit of backstory on Shyla Den for Erica and Julio and Kesh, if she doesn't remember it. Shyla Den was Kral's number 2. Shyla Den was, the senior lieutenant of Kral, the other leader of the bandit coalition other than Benisaridan, the one that didn't want the Wildwood Brigade to be formed, didn't think a peace could be reached with the Alderheart Council. Shyla was pretty die-hard anti-council. She was she was Kral's second, and
I was pretty
Kral
sure
was extremely anti-council.
Yeah, I was pretty sure I'd remember that correctly. I'm like, Shyla seems like the worst person to try and corrupt in the council's favor. She fucking hates them.
I'm just saying, it's something for us to be careful of.
Absolutely, but I can totally talk to her without...
Yeah, I think you should.
Quick question. Who is the person in charge of the finances of the Wildwood Brigade?
An excellent question, DM.
It would have been until about 2.5 weeks ago, you.
Oh.
Well,
As in, the
All the
regional...
signs keep pointing to you.
yeah, no, Kesh is more sus and sus by the minute.
Shit, it's me, guys. I'm responsible. Clap me in irons.
We will gaslight you into thinking that you're the big bad of the season.
I'm glad they fired you, because honestly...
Daria, shush.
Oh, sorry.
Well, yes, if you want to speak to Shyla, I can speak to Havel again about the situation in the branch. If anyone would have an investment in the health of the older heart above anyone else, it would likely be the tenders.
This is true.
So I might also be careful about what I say, but that seems like another possible avenue. What do you think?
Yes. I think it might not be a bad idea to kind of feel out who might be on our side if it comes down to it.
Very well.
Yeah.
Not that I want to put it in those terms. But
So, to shuffle this along a little bit, because that sounds like a solid plan, who would Julio go with? Or does Julio have a third idea?
I think while they get information in places they know and trust, Julio Julio. Who's Julio? Julio is okay. I don't know about enough about this capital to understand where would be the place for sus people to get like information about things that are not strictly like
Okay, the roots.
above board.
Definitely it's called the undercommons. And yes, the roots of the tree. They're sort of hollow.
I would like to.
Yeah, cool.
I would like to.
So you'd like to go and sort of put your seedy side on and go down and have a little wander around. Basically, put your ear to the ground and see what you can find out. Very well then. What sort of information are you looking for, Julio?
Well, I suppose.
Sorry, and also and where would you all reconvene after you've had these conversations?
Great question.
I'd probably say, hey, do you want to meet for lunch at X place that I know?
Yeah, where's the bar? Yeah, the hung, drawn, and quartered. For lunch?
Yeah. Lunch
I think
and a
it's
live drawing
quarters,
session.
not quartered, but yes.
It is quartered.
Oh, I thought it was hung, drawn, and quarters.
No, hung, drawn, and quartered.
I thought it's a pun.
Okay. It's the way you used to kill people.
Yes, but I thought
quarters...
the bar was called hung, drawn, and quarters.
Because it's funny.
You'd have to ask Serum.
Serum, are you in chat? Clarify now.
Hang
on, wait. He made a Twitter account for it.
He made
I think it was quarters.
All right. So, Kesh, you go and
hung, drawn, and quarters in your face.
All right. Kesh.
Quarters. Sorry, excuse me. There was something in my throat.
Quarters. Quarters.
I was actually the person who made it up in World, and it was quartered.
Listen, at this point, we know the canon is whatever we decide on the spot, okay?
Very well.
Listen,
right.
the three of us can argue the semantics, but let's just get on with it, okay?
So,
we
Karen, you go and see Shyla.
You know what this, real quick, you know what this reminds me of? So, I worked at the chain restaurant Sizzler for a couple of years when I was a lot younger, and so many people call it Sizzlers. It's not Sizzlers, it's Sizzler. There's no S on the end. And they would tell you off if they heard you saying Sizzlers. Like, particularly if you answered the phone and were like, hello, this is Sizzler. If they heard you saying, hello, this is Sizzlers, they would tell you after you hung up, Sizzler, not Sizzlers. I'm like, no one cares. No one cares!
It reminds me of Greens & Co., which is was a semi-popular cafe in Perth, Daria, but always, there was a big sign, Greens & Co., and someone would graffiti CK on the end of it. And to the point where the official Facebook page was just Greens & Cock.
Nice.
So I feel like that's probably the case here, that it's probably quartered or quarters, and then someone has graffitied it out and replaced it with the other.
Yeah. It was Serum.
Oh, how
Serum
much
did that.
respect would I lose if I said the joke I was thinking of? Greens and cock, that sounds like my diet.
Oh!
Oh, you did it anyway.
Hey, it sounds really healthy.
How could you
Get
say
your
something?
5 a day.
Moving on.
How could you say
Something so
something
true and so brave.
controversial and yet so brave?
My God.
All right. Karen, you go see Charlotte Dead.
I do.
You do. You go up to your old office.
I knock on the door. It's only polite. It's not technically my office anymore.
And a male voice comes from the inside. Come in.
I open the door. Curious.
You go in. Behind the door, behind the desk, is a... can you describe your old office, please?
It's kind of done in warm, woody tones. I would have had like a nice art of the tree up there. You know, there would have been a little bit of art. It would have had some like nice touches, but it would also have been quite neat. Kesh would have had everything organized very.
Sure. Kesh and Karen not at all alike. Behind the desk is a Corvum. And he is in the uniform of a major in the Wildwood Brigade. And he's sort of his brows furrow for a moment. He says, Major Glitterweave. Hello.
Do I know this person?
Make a history check.
It's a plant. It's a mole.
Dirty 20.
Ooh. No.
Ooh.
He is not a member of the former Bandit Coalition.
No shit, he's a corpse.
No, there were some bird folk in it.
Okay.
Not a lot.
Sorry, I was being birdist.
Yeah. No. The Wildwood Brigade is about 10% bird folk. But yeah, the current head of the Wildwood Brigade in Alderheart would appear to be a Corvum named Nils Wintervale.
Nils Wintervale.
He does have that little nameplate on the desk, so Major Wintervale. Like, he's supposed to be there. He's not just, like, hanging out, waiting for Shyla to get back.
I will be like, good morning. Sorry to intrude. I was expecting someone else to be in here.
Major Den? Yeah. She was reassigned back to the Crest.
She was only assigned here like 2.5 weeks ago. What happened?
She just came to sort of fill the gap, you know, while you were off doing what you were doing. But General Sheridan sorted everything out a little bit more efficiently. Major Den knows the Crest significantly better than I do, so she was reassigned back there. Just bit of a council muckery.
Oh, so when did this happen?
Oh, well, I've been in the job 10 days.
Oh, okay, 10 days ago.
Yeah, she was only here like 4 days.
Right.
It was the council's call to bring her when they reassigned you, and then General Sheridan sort of sorted it out when she got wind of it. But as I understand it, she thought you were well placed with doing what you were doing, and well, as recent history shows, she wasn't wrong.
Oh, thank you. I'm sorry. Where do we know each other from?
I actually don't think we've met. I'm Major Wintervale at Nils, and he puts his hand out to shake.
I'll shake it.
Yeah. He says, I'm a recent recruit. They actually brought me over from the Perch Guard, of all places.
Right.
Quite an attractive offer, you know, like a promotion and a sideways sort of...
So, Charlotte Den's not here anymore. She's back at the Crest.
No.
Oh, right. Oh, that's a shame. I was hoping we could catch up. How are things going?
Look. I think I'm getting my head around it. There's an awful lot of, like, no one really knows what the Wildwood Brigade's supposed to be doing. So we're just sort of doing things until our job becomes a little bit more specified. Like, we're doing a lot of the... Basically, I've tried to... And this is obviously General Sheridan's sort of overarching goal. My understanding of it is that the Wildwood Brigade is continuing to do what the Coalition did before, as in sort of spirit, but with the Council's support. Firefighting, refugee columns, overseeing that, keeping everything organized, ordered, overseeing the distribution of supplies and so forth, some relief work. Basically, I've got all the troops mobilized as much as possible, and supporting the Perch Guard in Alderheart.
Right. I'm sorry to ask. It's probably a little awkward. Former leader coming in and peppering you with questions. But
No. Completely understand, and I look forward to working with you. My understanding is you've got another job coming up, and once that's completed, then you come back into the role and I become your 2IC.
Oh, right. Sorry, they haven't told me any of this.
I was informed this morning.
Right. Okay. Cool.
And I want to be clear. I'm in no way upset about it. I was sort of. It's a big burden. I'm not like, I don't want to say I'm impressed because it sounds condescending, but like I'm impressed that you handled it as well as you did, and I've been keeping my head above water. But yeah, it's a big job. I think two of us, we could definitely make a go of it.
I would like to insight Mills, please.
Very well.
Fuck me.
14's
14.
not bad.
Yeah, but
he. What are you trying to determine?
is he on the level? Is what he's saying ringing true to me? That he's keen to work with me, and that he's found it all a little overwhelming, and yeah.
Nothing that he has said has been a deception. He has not said anything untrue as far as you can tell. His levity does seem a little forced. Well, like he seems happy. He seems like he's trying to seem upbeat.
Right. Follow-up question, like, look, you're saying you're okay with it, but obviously a lot's happened while I've been away, like Charlotte coming in and then going, and then you coming in, and then apparently I'm coming in and you're staying, and I'm just wondering kind of what's your, I suppose, what is your feeling on the matter? Because for me, it's very important to know that everyone understands and is comfortable with how things are going. And if we are going to work together, I want to make sure that, we're coming in a good place, and you're not secretly like, oh my goodness, I can't believe I have to step down just when I stepped in, if you know what I mean.
Can you make me a persuasion check?
Kesh has a 0 but rolled an 18 on the dice!
Because Kesh is very good at persuading people, even if she's not very charismatic.
No, I'm not very charismatic.
Kesh, what you've said is logical and sensible, and you roll very well. He sort of sags a little bit, and he says, let's be honest with each other. I was offered the job, and it seemed like a really good offer. Like, I had a pretty sweet deal in the Perch Guard, and quite a lot of work experience there, and they've they said, hey, immediate promotion sideways into a different organization, but with good promotion prospects in that organization, big important role, something meaningful to do with yourself, and then get told less than 2 weeks later that the previous occupant of the position was coming back, and that I would be not being demoted, but sidestepped a little bit. Look, it wasn't the best feeling in the world, but it's you. In fairness, like, I do have mad respect. So there is that. Like, and I genuinely do think we could work well together. And yeah, I when you get back from this new task, as I understand it, it's a bit of a distant one. Like, I'll probably have this job for at least another week. If you take it, if you're up for that. I understand you've lost a couple of your crew, but I'd like to think the council wouldn't send you off on a job you couldn't handle. There's also been a little bit of the issue with the pay. That one sort of got dropped on me, and look, I wasn't happy about that. Try and do right by the people under me,
Yes. I would like to insight him again.
Very well.
19.
19. What about?
Is he now being more honest with me than he was before? Does this feel more like a full truth of the situation?
That it certainly does. Like, he is certainly been honest with you. Like, 19. The one bit that he said, he did say, if you take it, like, that felt a little like catching up on himself, like, you don't have to, like, it's not. If anything strikes you as unusual, is his understanding of the arrangement you have with the council. It's not a publicized fact. The council doesn't go around telling everybody exactly what the deal is. Clearly. So, yeah, there is that.
Right, well, it was nice to meet you, Nils. If you have any questions for me, I'll be around for at least a day or so. And I'll try and let you know what's happening at my end before I head out of town, okay? Keep us all in the loop, so to speak.
No, I appreciate that, thank you. If any of the Brigadiers do question you about it, I should probably bring you up to speed on the matter. The payroll was stolen.
All of it?
Yes. 1,000 gold pieces.
When?
The morning I was brought in.
Oh. So we're not
That
paying
was-
them because someone literally stole the money.
Literally, the
which we
money
would
is
have
gone. Yeah. They're on half pay. The council has sort of wrapped up, like rustled up a replacement 500. But that's all the council had, you know. As I understand it, the Older Heart is broke as right now. And, yeah. Hey, Nextracon, it's good to see you. And bringing in a whole new army that they've decided they have to pay, which is good, like, and the Wildwood Brigade is definitely earning its stripes, and earning its pay. There is still, like, the matter of just, where does it all come from? But, yeah, it was stolen. We're not sure. Like, I believe the investigation is ongoing. The Perch Guard is taking care of it. But, yeah, that was morning off. So, that is not publicly known, of course. I have not shared that information, but I thought you should probably know that's why.
I appreciate the information. Thank you.
In case anybody comes to you and is say, hey, Kesh, what the hell? Get us our money. And so you don't go promising anything that you can't.
Right. Yes.
It apparently, like, I have been assured that back pay will be provided, but it could take a while.
Yeah. Question, because I can't find it in my notes. How much did we get paid for our work dealing with the worm and scops?
The worm was... I want to say it was 250 a head, I think.
That's what I recall it being.
Yeah. And Julio got Arthur's.
Yeah. And did we get anything for scops? Wasn't there like 100 for scops or something?
Yeah, but that was before. That was a bounty at Saltar's Point.
But I have been paid it.
Yes. The
Oh,
money
great,
did
because I didn't have that either.
the money did not come from the
I know,
council.
I couldn't find my notes on what we'd been paid, so I'm trying to work out how much money she has, but she's got 350.
Yeah. I do not recall off the top of my head how much money you got paid for scops. I will look
Maybe-
in. I will look in the break.
But yeah, I
Yeah.
don't have enough to make up the difference.
Oh, yeah, you would have about 500. Yeah.
I would?
If it's included, if you include the money you got paid from scops, probably. Arthur also had quite a lot of money in his chest. Just saying that he didn't take with him. Because he had Scops' chest.
Well, in the break, do you want to?
We'll figure that out.
About
Yeah.
that loot and
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll go back through my notes. Cool. We will go then to Ereq. And the Tender Halls. Abby is back. You would bump into her in the hall in the morning as you come in. She would smile at you and say, "Oh, hi, Ereq. Good to see you.
Yes, you too, Gabrielle.
Glad you're back."
Thank you. It was a bit of a harrowing one, but we got there in the end.
And how was the weight worm? And actually, she seems really interested in the way. Like, ooh, tell me.
Mother and baby are both well. We were able to convince them to move away from the coast, and no harm came to either of them. Well, the baby had been captured, so maybe a little bit of harm to her, but hopefully they're both well now.
Way I heard it, you guys didn't convince anything. You did. Tender training.
Yeah. It was, let's say I was literally sitting in the crow's nest for that conversation, and the state that I left the crow's nest was a lot messier than when I had first taken perch.
She chuckles.
Yes.
Cool. Well, I'll be in my workshop if... Yeah. Good to see you.
See you.
Bye. She's like awkwardly like hug, maybe like good to see. Yeah. Platonic friend hug badly. And then you go and see Tevor. Havel. Don't see Tevor. That'd be messy.
Shut your mouth.
Havel, you enter Havel's office. Havel is actually eating breakfast. He's like, it's nuts and berries in a bowl with some milk. And a bit of muesli. Like he's like,
just plunging his beak right in.
Yeah.
Motorboating the cereal.
He's like, "Oh, hi, Ereq," and sort of, sorry. Sorry.
No, I'm sorry. Is this a bad time?
No, not at all. Sorry, pardon me. Come in. How are you?
Thank you. I closed the door. Yes. I'm okay. I hopefully this won't take too long. I was just wondering, the care of the older heart, is that under our purview?
Broadly,
who's responsible
yeah.
for that?
I mean, it's sort of a shared responsibility between us and the clergy, you know.
Oh, of course. Okay.
Not that it's ever really needed. I mean, like, if there's some major construction going on, you'd need either a tender or a cleric to sort of oversee it, make sure the tree isn't hurt. But
sure.
Nothing major's been built in a while.
I suppose the clergy have been taking the majority of that responsibility given recent events.
Yeah, in fact, if anything, it's been more them than... it's been almost exclusively devolved over to them because they're non-combatants.
Of course.
So are we, technically, but, you know.
You may or may not have been able to tell this from our meeting yesterday, but I have been through somewhat of a difficult time.
I did get that impression, yeah.
I did something which I initially thought may have been pretty stupid, but I communed with the older heart.
Oh, gods, man.
I I was able to get through it unscathed, surprisingly. But among other things,
Your feather's back.
yeah, yes, that was thanks to the older heart.
Wow. And he leans back in his chair and sort of... Ereq, no one's spoken to the tree in over 100 years.
What do you mean?
I mean, no one's spoken to the tree in over 100 years.
That no one has thought to, or
No one. Well, no one's managed to.
Oh,
Not that it's dead. But it's such a huge thing. You have to be. There has to be a good reason that the tree would want to talk to you. What was happening at the time?
among other things, the older heart shared with me that it is in pain. I have reason to believe that people have been excavating it.
Gods, man.
And I don't know how they would be able to do that without anyone knowing. Do you know?
How recently?
I don't know who's. I didn't ask. I mean, how do you ask the tree that you live on? I mean, it didn't seem to have a great concept of time in any case. But I had the impression that this was something relatively recent.
Well, we have just undergone a period of fairly major upheaval.
A period of time where, as we've just said, there wasn't any oversight from the tenders, perhaps?
Or anyone, really. I mean, the clergy was flat out as well. During the final stages of the elemental crisis, there was... everybody who was able-bodied was doing stuff.
DM,
Yes.
I want to do an insight check on Havel. I want to determine whether he seems genuinely surprised about this news, and also, I don't know if this would roll into the same check or be a separate check, but I want to determine his connection or his allegiance to the council.
Ooh. That would require taking the conversation a little bit further, but yes, you can do that.
Sure.
Insight check.
Well, yeah. That's a 19, baby.
19. Yeah. Sorry, what was the first element of it? His, how surprised he is?
Yeah, and whether he seems legitimately concerned.
He is legitimately concerned. He isn't that surprised. He says, look, Ereq, I don't think... There's always going to be underground elements. You're not going to... Even the best law enforcement in the world, it just forces them to dig deeper. So, I'm not hugely shocked that there are unmapped, unauthorized excavations in the tree. I imagine there's more than you think. There's probably more than I think. But this one sounds big.
Yes, it's... If it was simply a case of it being a minor crime den, then I wouldn't be particularly concerned about it. I'm sorry, Havel, but what's your relationship with the council?
Well, I try to be apolitical. How do you mean?
Well,
you would be able to know, like, he doesn't work for them.
yeah, and the council wouldn't have anything to do with like the structure or the governance of the tenders.
No, they are not a government organization. They receive some funding from the government, but they are not exclusively funded by the government.
Yeah. Okay. Look, this needs to stay between the two of us, but
Of course.
my companions and I, on a tip, investigated this excavation, in this particular excavation, in the early hours of this morning. We found ledgers, finances. The tunnel was connected to the Wildwood Brigade, the headquarters. There were robes and religious vestments and a chapel that seemed sorry, DM, is it Titan? That
Yes.
was
Yeah.
that seemed to have some semblance to Titan, but not entirely. Some kind of subversion. This is large and organized. This isn't petty crime.
No, it does not sound it. But I'm afraid I don't know anything about it.
Can I describe the district that this was in so that he at
Yeah,
least kind of
yeah.
has...
Yeah, he says, gosh, up near the docks. If that... I'll have, look. Ereq, I will send someone up to make sure that area is stable. Hey, Omi, good to see you. Thank you so much for your subscription. And Dan is here. But we're not telling who yet.
Redacted is a very iconic character in the Humblewood
Redacted,
canon.
so good, yeah.
My cousin.
Yeah, I also can't pronounce Dan's name. Yeah. He says, I have a proposition for you, actually. I have
yes.
been... I need people to train new tenders here. And... well, and you know the attrition rates. We've got some new not conscripts, recruits, and I need someone to take care of their the elemental side of their training. And I honestly couldn't think of a more experienced person.
And that would be based here in Olderheart?
Potentially, with options to sort of move around. That we are setting up a secondary training center out near the Scorched Grove, in Ashbarrow, actually.
Oh. Because I was intending to return there whenever this business concluded. I don't know. For all I know, that's indefinite at the moment, but I imagine that our dealings will bring us back here quite often, so... Are you... Wow. What... do you want me to help to train with the performance of elemental magic or in the dealings with elementals?
Both. Primarily the second, but both. Your experience in the second is significantly greater than basically anybody else, any other tender.
Oh.
At this point,
Wow.
your experiences of the last couple of months. If you could teach a few people how to speak Wake Worm, that'd be neat.
Right. Yes.
No pressure.
He chuckles like it's sort of a joke, but also sort of not actually a joke. He's like, but actually, but funny though, but actually.
Right. Look, you've given me a lot to think about.
Of course, you and if you're happy where you are, I obviously won't force you. We're not that kind of organization. But that option is there, and like what you're doing is really, really dangerous. And I'd say you've done your part. I've known you a while, Ereq, and you're a great guy, but you're not a fighter. And I say that as not a fighter either.
I don't want to shirk my responsibilities with the tenders. I mean, I gave up a lot to join you, and that still remains important to me.
Well, have a think about it. Have a think about it. Obviously, you don't need to start today.
Okay. Well, I'll let you get back to your breakfast. Do keep everything that we've spoken about today between the two of us. I have concerns about how far this reaches.
Of course. You have my trust, Ereq. I hope I have yours.
Absolutely.
Gabby would love it if you stayed as well. I don't know if that has anything to do with it one way or the other. Anyway, I'll see you around, Ereq.
Thank you, Havel.
And he goes back to his breakfast. And I think we should get back. Because Dan's been sitting very patiently. I will get to Julio in just a moment. But, Dan.
Oh, heck.
Yeah, here it comes. Where are we? Bennick, how are you? What has happened to you in the last little while? 3 days after the wedding, you receive a letter.
Oh, fuck. Alright.
But what's been going on with you?
Is it gonna be another wedding?
Hope not. Yeah, what's been going on with Bennick in the days since the wedding?
Well, I lost my spell book before.
Yeah.
So I am rebuilding that. And as much as I am, a journeyman abjurer, I am slowly working on fixing it and doing practical shit, because I'm a practical kind of wizard.
That you are. Alrighty. Well, 3 days later, the group is still very much preoccupied with the whole Helvig and Jude's face situation.
No, this is the hand though.
Oh, the hand. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
No, I'm thinking of Nevermore.
You're thinking of
yeah.
Iralath.
Yeah.
Yeah, different weird body sharing thing happening with the defenders, but it is what it is.
It is what it is, and the decision has been made to try and build him a body, that process is commencing. When Bennick, not Ereq, receives a letter. The letter reads, Bennick, it was a pleasure to meet you, and I'd like to state again how much my people and I appreciate the help of you and your friends. I hope your quest to find Mr. Dewpoint went well. I write to provide you with some information. Due to our past interactions, I have chosen to address this solely to you and not your companions, as, on this matter, I do not feel they are objective, which is in part my fault. However, the fact remains. I've been informed that honest, loyal citizens of the wood are being held against their will by elements within the government, without explanation or trial. Now, I cannot get to the bottom of why or to what end, nor can I even confirm this to the point where it would stand up in court. Owing to my own personal history, I am unable really to go and look into this myself. It's not my place to give you orders, and I don't even have a favor I can call in here. I ask only that you go and have a look, then do whatever you think is right. I trust that will be enough. I do not suggest taking your companions with you, however, for the same reason as above. But I believe you recently made an acquaintance in the Wildwood Brigade who possesses both the authority and the skill to be of assistance in this endeavor. She can probably be located in Alderheart without major difficulty. I would also suggest you keep your involvement with her on the down low, as I'm concerned for her safety. It would seem she has irritated some powerful people. I hope I'm wrong, I really do, and that this place is either abandoned or holds the evilest of wrongdoers, but if I'm not... Yours, and then it is signed K.
Who can that be?
Yeah, well, look, I did the voice.
Kesh.
Yeah, it's Kesh.
I'm glad that it.
Why are the Kardashians involved?
So yeah, Bennick, how do you react to that? On the back of the letter is a map of the northern part of the Scorched Grove with a large X marking a spot on the northern edge of the wood. You would guess it's about 3 days from Alderheart by foot.
What the fuck? I tell the rest of the defenders, obviously, because
Sure.
I feel like I will get my head chopped off by like Jude
And Trish.
and Trish if I keep secrets from them. Because we said
Yep.
we weren't gonna do that anymore. Because
Nope.
shit's gonna fucking. Our secrets are too apocalyptic.
Yep.
But I mean, they're probably gonna say that, you know, it's Kroll,
It is.
so probably not listen to it. But if he's right, then it's, you know, bystander effect, and like we're not really doing anything. And if he's wrong about it, then all the better. But it's not warranted that all of us need to be there.
No. It's also worth noting that Kral controls the only source of the metal needed to build Helvig a body. Now, no mention of that has been made, but you need magically conductive metal to build that, and Kral has the only mine in Alderheart, in the Humblewood. Now,
Right.
he has not mentioned that at all. And he definitely already owes you a favor. That probably wouldn't be an issue. And Kral may well, like, given what he said about he hopes your thing with Helvig goes well, he clearly isn't fully up to date on where Helvig is and what Helvig needs. So he's not in any way holding that against you, but it is worth considering.
Yeah, that's probably an aspect of like convincing the rest of the people, because they have a relentless hatred for the man.
They
which
do.
I'm not sure. I'm new here, and honestly, when I met the guy, it was pretty like alright. I don't tell them that though.
No.
I mean, I tell them that, but in more palatable words.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel, I have not consulted them, but I feel they would be, look, whatever, Bennick. You do you, Bennick. We'll just sort out Helvig on our own, Bennick.
Really tug the heartstrings.
Kesh,
It's fine. I say like something along the lines of, I mean, if you call upon me, I'll be there, etc., etc. You could probably like send a message in my head or something, or get, you know, Revania to do it or whatever.
Trish would, I suspect, say, take care, Bennick. I really hope you can... I think the letter refers to Kesh. You'll probably find her in a bar.
But there anything, I mean,
Shot
sure.
through the heart.
She's
I'll
great.
send her your regards.
I will.
I did know what she looks like from the wedding, so...
Yeah. Yeah, give her a hug from me. Or just say that I sent her one. You don't actually have to do the hug.
I will do that.
On
I
the
am
subject of hugs,
significantly less fluffy.
Jude and the spiky hand that is Helvig would hug you. And
Oh.
Jude would say, take care, Helvig. Wow. Take care, Bannock.
Wow. Yeah, you too. And Helvig, I guess, in there.
And he would say, through Jude's mouth.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you take care. I guess, I don't know. Maybe, hopefully, we'll get a body soon. I'll get a body soon. Mainly because I don't hate being in here.
You like the pillow fort.
I do like the pillow fort. I like the pillow fort a lot. It's more like, I'm still worried about, possibly corrupting whatever. Or it's fine.
Oh, it'll be fine, Helvig. All right. Yeah, you go. The dean.
You thought you could get away without role playing with yourself.
I'm always ready. They're different enough people.
They are very distinct. The dean offers you use of the teleportarium.
Really?
Yeah.
Thank you, but
Of course, not a problem.
We've got a lot of use of this thing.
Well,
I think
that's what
Trish
it's there
still
for.
hates you for fucking up the math.
Yes. I feel bad about that. I really do. But it all worked out,
Yeah, it did.
And it's so much easier on this plane.
That's fair. Right.
And he
I'll see you
plugs in
around.
the coordinates for Alderheart and then pulls the lever and whoop, 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 and you disappear. And you appear at the base of the tree. Outside, because there's no safe place to teleport into Alderheart. You don't want a merging event.
Ask which bar. I'm just gonna have to go to every bar.
All of them. Never mind. Julio.
I go in all. Yeah.
You go to all the bars. Julio, you are exploring the Undercommons. Trying to find what exactly? And how?
So
And
I
where?
would go to the seedy places, like bars, for example, where I would, I would just have big ears. So I just want to listen to what the rumor mill is producing, what kind of sassy flower they give me, and thank you. And
What is sussy flower?
Yeah, not a clue.
It's a mill.
It's a
I
Russian
see.
thing.
flower.
A rumor mill, yes. I get it.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes,
Right.
I'm so smart, you guys,
You
and
are.
you don't appreciate it enough.
No.
That's Galaxy Brain level memes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Puns on
Sassy
puns.
flower.
Anyway, yes, I
Writing
want to
that
listen, and then, and then I
Sassy.
want to, maybe question one or two drunkards or maybe bartenders to see what's up. Like, what's the talk of the
Okay.
town about, like cults, sassy behavior from the government, construction.
All right. Yeah, Karen is dying. That's how good Dan was.
Sorry.
Do you need a drink, my love? Okay. All right. Daria, what skill would you utilize to...
Big question.
Oh,
Well,
Zach Speaks Giant is raiding with a party of 54. Incredible. Zach Speaks
Hi,
Giant.
Zach Speaks Giant.
Thank you so much,
Whoa,
Dungeon and
hello.
Dragon. Hello, Rin Vixen. Nice to meet you. Miss Radcore, thank you so much for the raid. Favorite raid emotes up in chat, everybody. Raid. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. We are back in my Humblewood world. Ooh, we have potatoes. Hey, everybody. Zach Speaks Giant, thank you so much for the raid. One presumes...
I just
Zach
want to be
Speaks-
clear. We have more to this D&D campaign than just potatoes.
No potatoes have been mentioned in this D&D. Oh, yeah, no, yeah, actually, yeah.
Hash
there is the
browns.
mashed potatoes and hash browns are things in both Humblewood campaigns.
and also I am here, a certified potato. So
Oh, okay.
that's something.
Yeah, potatoes are nat ones. We've only had a couple of them so far. You're dying, Rin Vixen. Oh no, what's happened? What have you guys been up to? We are playing in the Humblewood world by the Hit Point Press. I, however, run nearly 60 sessions in it, and it has expanded beyond all reason. And now we are delving deep into the burgeoning race war that is occurring in the Humblewood. They haven't gotten to that bit yet. They are currently dealing with a good portion of government corruption, and we have a special guest. Bennick has come. Dan has brought his character from, one of his characters from the other Humblewood campaign that I run, over to this one to have an adventure here. So he has just received a very suspicious letter from Ego Hazardous. Thank you very much for the follow, by the way. We play D&D Monday and Thursday. I play Warhammer on Tuesday as well, Warhammer Total War. And so yeah, we are a D&D primary channel, and yeah, you are very, very welcome here. What were you guys doing? I presume D&D as well. Do good things, don't die. Much love, M3. Excellent. Yeah, thank you so much for the raid, guys. So, Julio Switchgear is doing a search of the Undercommon. So the Alderheart is a giant tree, well over 1 kilometer tall, and in the roots are where the seedier, sassy flower elements of the population live, and Julio is looking for some sassy flower.
I'm so mad that all the people did not hear my cool joke before the raid.
Sussy flower. Well, please do make the joke again. It was so good. We need to have it twice.
It's gonna be worse.
No, it's not. The moment's passed.
I would argue that this is dangerously close to being our soft gap for the season.
Oh, but it's good though.
Anyway,
I'm
investigating.
So you are investigating. Roll an investigation check.
Well,
or you're going to use something else?
Stealth?
No.
Okay. I needed to try it. I needed to.
Look.
That's my best.
What's the difference between stealth and investigation in terms of points value, in terms of what you add?
Stealth is +10, investigation is +4. So
I will
do some cooking. Offer people some food.
I will give you half of it. You are stealthily investigating. I will give you a +7.
Wow. Such generous DM. Thank you very much. So I'm rolling investigation plus unknown 7. Thank you.
Plus another 3. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, it's good though. So 19
That's very
plus
good. 22. All right. Yeah. You keep your massive ears to the ground, and yeah, you hear a whole bunch. So you were going primarily to bars to listen for the seedy flower gossip, yeah. So, you hear rumors of gangs being recruited. So there's a couple of sort of the heavy hitter gangs have been recruited sort of en masse by someone. They basically it's more that they've disappeared, and there is suspicions that they've been recruited by someone for something. You don't get any details because no details are known. But yeah, 2 of the major criminal gangs are gone. Just sort of disappeared. One of them was quite militant. Like, they were the heavies. They did a lot of protection rackets.
I didn't want to say it, but Brendan is right.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. I'm leaning into that. Seedy flowers, delicious. So yeah, that you find that. You find there has been rumors of people going missing.
On top of the gangs being
on
missing
top
as
of
well.
completely separate.
Wow.
Like when a gang goes missing at once, one assumes that's gang related. When a single person goes missing, could be gang related, but in the Undercommons could just be any number of other things. You also hear, with a 22, you hear about a job, a heist, that was done about 10 days ago.
To steal perhaps a payroll.
But, yeah, pulled off by a crew of ne'er-do-wells led by a Vulpin.
Motherfucker. Wait, didn't he say I was hired, but it didn't take anything? That motherfucker.
He did not
he
specify
lie?
that he did not take anything. He did not specify that.
What a foxy bitch. Okay. Okay. All right.
Kesh was fully aware of this. Sorry, Karen was fully aware of this because Karen played a character who was part of that crew. She knows exactly what happened, as did Dan.
Have I accidentally worked both sides of this situation without realizing it?
Yeah, you have.
Oops-a-daisy.
Catherine Corvamus was one of the people who stole the money that they're talking about.
She didn't know it was the payroll. Also, why the fuck was it in some random warehouse by a cult?
Right?
Julio is so pissed because he was like, oh, a fellow bandit turned good person. Hello. Nope, still bad.
No, he never made any claim that he was a bandit turned good person.
Okay. Did I hear anything about bird cults? Perhaps some bird folk being sussy?
Birdfolk being sussy. In the Undercommons, the Undercommons is the only part of the of the Older Heart where the population split goes more humble folk than birdfolk. So there is a general feeling down here of birdfolk being sus. Even sussy. Significant distrust of the government. A lot of the people here are new, like refugee new. This is the downtrodden, the dispossessed, the not okay with the government as it is. If you were going to have a rebellion, this would probably be where it started.
Okay, interesting. Do I have the names of the gangs that were missing?
Yes, I will give you them in the break.
Sweet.
Because I was not expecting that information to come out this early. This was a really good piece of, maybe slightly a curveball to Josh. Very good.
Well, with all that info, I will start to move towards the bar, whatever that is.
Yep.
Where Kesh...
Oh, the hung, drawn, and quartered? Yep, you go back upstairs to the hung, drawn, and quartered. You guys reconvene up there. Thank you very much for the follow, Miss Radcore. You're very welcome. Alrighty. You
still muted. I said Rad.
Miss Radcore.
And I've spoken, so I'm probably going to have to mute it again in a sec.
This is so bad.
Yeah. Well, so yes, we head to the bar, the hung, drawn, and quartered. Bannock, you may have noticed if you roll a particularly high perception check, you might have noticed a one-eyed mouse doing some sneaky sussing out in the bars at the bottom of the tree.
Wisdom's not my strong suit.
I know.
But here we go. Perception. Nah.
Yeah.
Where's the bar?
Yeah, you head up to the hung, drawn, and quarters. It's in the lower canopy. So it's quite a way up the tree. But if you start at the bottom and work your way up, take you probably a couple of hours to see all the bars. Or even just most of them. But the hung, drawn, and quartered is one of the more famous ones. And probably a logical place to go first. Like, you've been there before. Riffin likes that bar. And I think it's where you guys met him once. The three of you, I will say Julio, Kesh, and Ereq meet there for lunch, and Bannock would probably get there shortly after. You meet in the bar for lunch.
I'm not here yet.
No.
I had an interesting conversation with Havel, but none of the interest was relevant to our business. But he, at least, is aware of what's going on and will keep an eye on things now that the elementals have settled down a bit. Knock on wood, and I knock on a wall.
Literally everything in here is wood. I should actually describe it for our new people. The Hung Drawn and Quarters is a bar that is... It's quite high, it's quite upper class. Well, it's a nice bar, but it's not a fancy bar. It is run by a Strig, an owl person. Null Newitt, thank you very much for the follow. And my Abby as well, thank you. What am I doing? Upstairs, it is a 2-story affair. The downstairs is a sort of bar and restaurant area, sort of combined. There is no sort of distinction between the two. And upstairs is an all-male review, and during the day, it is life drawing classes. And then, at night, it becomes a sort of ladies' night every night of the week sort of situation.
What is an all-male review? What are they reviewing?
A strip club.
Oh, is it called review in posh places?
Yeah.
Their penises are the things being reviewed.
Yes.
Ah, I see.
Or cloacas, I think, in a lot of cases. But
They're sheaths. No,
let's not. We've got so many new people, we don't want to scare them off yet, Brendan.
Yeah. No,
it's me!
Sheaths.
Josh, do you want to scam them into thinking that we're like above
sensible.
board with our humor?
That's fair. Yeah, valid. You're lucky you missed the semen episode.
Oh god.
And I say episode singular, like you haven't spent half a season in a
on.
seaside town.
Kesh, how did the meeting with Shiloh go?
Well, it didn't. It would have transpired that Shyla isn't here anymore. She was only here for about 4 days, and then she left. Apparently, she'd finished doing whatever it is she came here to do, which I thought was do my job. But apparently, she did all of it in 4 days, and then left. So now, there's a Corvan who's been transferred from the Perch Guard, running the Wildwood Brigade, which would make me super suspicious if I didn't suspect he might be a patsy, because I got the impression that he'd been kept in the dark about a lot of stuff as well, and apparently they've told him today that I'm coming back soon and he's going to be my second in command, which would have been a bit of a blow if you'd just been taking a job thinking you were going to be in charge. And then to be told you're actually going to be second in command, and suck it up, princess, this is what's happening. And I feel like this is because I had a go at Larimar about firing me yesterday. And now she's trying to backtrack and make it look like she didn't fire me. Oh, and also the payroll got stolen, and that's why no one's getting paid their full rates, because someone made off with like 1,000 gold pieces. So it's going great. I think they might have put him there because he doesn't really know what's going on.
That's a lot to process. What's his name?
Nils.
Nils
Wintervale.
Nils Wintervale. I don't know him. So if any of you have heard of this bloke, I'd love to get the level on him. Like, I basically leveled with him and said, if I was in your position, I'd be pretty pissed off. And it felt like he was leveling with me back, saying, yeah, they kind of haven't told me a lot of stuff. I don't know. It's all very weird, and I kind of want to shout at someone about it, but I'm not sure who just yet.
Very well. Ereq, are you presuming you might know him because he's a Corvan?
Yes.
Racist.
Well, the same thing happened for Catherine Corvmus, so I thought I would ask.
Valid.
This is true.
You can make a history check to see if the name rings a bell.
I would probably be after the family name rather than the individual.
Yeah.
No, that's a 5.
And no, you would not know this guy. Yeah. But the name, the family name particularly, does not ring a bell. He's not of a, and you would know significant Corvan families. He is not one of them.
Is I haven't heard of the guy or his family for what's that's worth.
Right, so they've gone and got someone
He's
with
not connected.
familial clout and put them in charge of the Wildwood Brigade, which either means they're finally hiring in a merit fashion and he's actually really talented, or they want someone who doesn't have any backup.
Kesh, do you know under what pretenses Shyla was, let off?
Well, he made it sound like she left of her own accord.
Well, no,
Without
he,
knowing
How to reach her?
he said she went back to the crest,
Yeah.
and under the orders of General Sheridan, who is the head of the Wildwood Brigade total.
Okay, so he said that General Sheridan had sent her back to the crest, which...
He and I want to be clear, he did make it, my intention, if at least, was to make it sound like he thought the council was mucking around and hadn't really thought things through. And the council assigned Shyla down here to replace you from the crest, and when the general heard about it, she was like, no, Shyla, you go back there, we'll get someone else to do Kesh's job here, because you don't know Alderheart well, you know the crest well. So Shyla came and did your job while they needed someone to do it, and then they found someone else to replace you, not replace her.
Right,
But,
I'll
so it was
relay that.
a bit of muck-aroundery, but not...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, they don't know their ass from their elbow, and it's really starting to show.
Yeah.
But also, I'm very concerned. And I don't know whether I want to be back in charge of the Wildwood Brigade or whether it's like the poison chalice kind of thing.
Kesh, I think you're going to be a bit more concerned after I tell you what I've just found out.
Oh,
So
great.
apparently, the payroll that was stolen by a group helmed by a certain Vulpin. So
It wouldn't be the Vulpin that we just took on a
I'm
secret
pretty sure
mission
it
with
is.
us.
You
Okay,
don't
cool.
know for sure. No name is mentioned, but...
yeah, it wasn't. But he remember, he said, "Oh, I had a heist there." I had a heist there, and I just found this weird letter, and
It's the spot-on
checks
impression, by
out.
the way.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so we may be being... Okay, either we just got played big time, really hope we didn't, or he's a shady shit, but he has a perverted sense of honor.
What would he have to gain by leading us to the scene of the crime if his concerns weren't justified? I mean, it could be an ego trip. He could have planted that evidence. I suppose that's true, but I didn't have that impression.
Well, I think what happened there was that he was doing his shady job and stumbled upon something even shadier. Like, remember when I was working for Scops, right? I thought we're just, pirating, doing our pirate stuff, But suddenly he was kind of getting, crazier and crazier. And then you're like, whoa, this is kind of not my vibe. I'm gonna go.
So possibly Fawkes was okay with stealing money, but when he found out there was a conspiracy, he felt obliged to tell.
Not only conspiracy, but the trees getting harmed. That's big.
Yeah, it is bad. A lot of it's bad. Oh,
Yeah.
goodness.
Also, speaking about bad, another thing I found that a lot of people have gone missing, and specifically 2 large gangs got disappeared.
Oh no, there is a cult here, Black Rose Darkthorn. It's just not a sex cult.
Unfortunately.
Well, we don't know that.
Never a
Yeah.
sex cult.
Let us hope.
Not until we join.
So this is a reference to Mano a Mano on Monday night, where Karen and I found a cult that definitely wasn't a sex cult, and then we told the audience if they managed to roll a 69 on a D100, then it was a sex cult. They did eventually manage it, but it took a while. By which point I was like,
respect
no,
the
you've all
dedication.
done it. You've all tried too often. So that's what Black Rose Darkthorn was doing. Thank you very much for the effort, and thank you for joining us, Black Rose. 86, closer. Still not a sex cult.
We have said we will put an actual
There
sex
will be
cult
one.
in there at some point, though. But
but
where? But when?
that's the fun.
I mean, that's
alrighty.
what I thought I was signing up for a year ago when you enlisted me. I thought this was going to be a sex cult.
Oh,
Yeah, no.
the dungeon is in the name, so.
Yeah, I'm a
Over
dungeon
Zoom?
master.
What kind
The-
of sex cult meets on Zoom?
The number of
I
during
thought it was weird
COVID,
that we're streaming on Twitch, but
this is the OnlyFans account.
I'm not dressed for this, you guys. Ugh.
It was
if you
so
want
long.
to tune in for that, join us on Pornhub Live.
Oh no.
COVID sex
no.
cult, socially distanced sex cult.
What is that? Just someone tied to a chair going, "Cough on me, cough on me. I want you to cough on me." Oh God, yes.
She's wearing a mask. Look.
Harder. I want to
He's
feel your
slowly
saliva
taking
hit
the
my
mask
face.
off.
Dark.
To our raiders, I am deeply sorry.
Yeah, the sound are still here.
This is what
Oh,
you,
no.
this is what you came into. This is what we do. This is how we are. I make no apologize. I apologize only that you had to be subjected to it. If it's not your bag, you're welcome to leave, and thank you for coming. If not, stick around. It only gets weirder from here. I am proud of what we have done, but I make no apologies for it. However, if it does make you feel uncomfortable, you may leave.
Do what's best for your mental health,
Yes.
gang.
Yeah.
Really into it. We have a merch store.
We do.
Oh wow.
Oh my god, that would be a great thing to be sponsored by. I don't know if it's against the T's and C's of Twitch, though. All right.
What, to be sponsored by
My
sex cult?
Pornhub. Yeah. The number of times
see,
I've
I
had
would
to
wanna-
explain when I've
I
said...
would want to be that Instagrammer who said, "Oh, if enough people do this, I'll start an OnlyFans account." And then she did, and it was so and so stroking her pussy, and it's her just patting her cat. They're all troll videos.
Like, watching my parents explain what I do to their friends when I'm there, so much fun. Oh, Josh is a dungeon master.
He does it on camera.
And
yeah.
I just smile.
Oh.
I'm just and the questions begin in 3.
We should have the
Because they're-
plus
Anyway.
tag.
We're so
Yeah,
proud.
we have
Yeah.
investigations.
Yeah.
Julio, tell us more about these sussy barkers that you heard about.
Yeah, very amorphous of them, just disappearing out of nowhere.
So I mean, I'm not sure if I'm getting the right vibe, but if gangs are disappearing, is that a bad thing?
Well, it depends where they're disappearing to.
Yeah, groups
Yeah,
of
if
violent
they're being
people
magically
disappearing for no
portaled to
apparent
the-
reason.
If they're being magically portaled to the Hell Dimension to live out their days, that's probably fine. If they're being recruited, maybe to a cult, that's very bad.
Yeah. And also, Eric, I don't know how often you go to the roots of the tree. People there have a lot of reasons to, turn to crime and not trust government. So I wouldn't lump everyone in together. After all, both Kesh and I were kind of bandits.
Yes. Yeah.
And Bennick eats people. Speaking of Bennick,
Oh, by the way,
I
kind
was
of.
like, have I arrived?
yes. At this point, a vulture of your acquaintance, Kesh, walks into the bar. Eric, you also know. He then steps back and realizes that the door was locked, so that he walks through into the bar. Sorry, he doesn't actually just clock himself on the door. He just comes in.
Hey, Kesh, is that? Look.
Oh,
I waddle over.
hey, Kai!
Hi, yeah, pleasure.
You
I-
remember Eric, right?
Yes, yeah, I mean, it was your family's wedding, so yeah, I can remember it clearly, and the agony of having my feathers gelled back is still quite fresh in my mind.
Yes.
It wasn't your fault. I'm just sorry I'm venting now.
No, it's an agony that I definitely share with you. Is Trish here?
Oh, no. None of the other defenders are actually
Oh,
busy trying to separate souls from people,
right. This is our acquaintance Julio. Julio, this is Bennick.
Hi.
He's one of the
Right.
defenders of Alderheart.
Yeah, I still have to get used to that. But
Did I hear
yes.
anything about them? Did I hear anything about defenders?
Yeah, you would be at least peripherally aware of them.
Oh. Oh, interesting. Do you perhaps know of any bird cults?
It's a fair
Do
question.
I know of any bird cults?
Yeah.
Uh,
Have I
as a
had
defender
a...
at the bird.
You know, as I was walking through Alderheart, did I get like a bird cult pamphlet that's like, you're a bird?
Bennick
Hit
isn't
us up.
from the wood.
No.
So, prob's not.
Oh
Just
no,
birds
recent
knocking on
memory.
doors going, would you like to hear about bird cults?
I'd like to talk to you about Titan. Bennick, you can roll for it.
History?
Yeah.
What do you DM? What do I roll?
History. Are they sex bird cults?
13?
13. Nothing specific. You wouldn't be... So your experience is purely related to the avium. Really. All of your time in
Yeah.
Alderheart you've pretty much spent studying. And, there was a couple of, like, quite exclusive student guilds sort of thing at the avium that... analogous to, like, houses, like in Hogwarts sort of thing. But not everyone was in one. You had to be quite good, or like at a particular school. So there was the Abjuration Guild sort of situation, and it was somewhere between a house and a faction and a guild or whatever. Nothing official. There was mild competition between them, but there was also like you could be in more than one. And a few of them had some sort of shady initiation rituals. And a lot of them, I don't know if Bennick would have been interested in him being involved. He certainly would have been invited to more than one, because he was quite a good student. He was quite respected for his abilities at the avium. But you might have gotten a culty vibe off a couple of them. A few of them were quite elitist. A very bird folk, like only bird folk for this one. Thank you very much. And you were invited to. You would have been invited to one of them, but you wouldn't know too much about any of it. And I don't know. You have to say whether or not Bennick would have been interested.
A cult like a frat. I say to the party.
Yeah.
I mean, what is a frat? A miserable pile of secrets. So probably. I like that someone got the reference.
They were
Then-
thinking more elusive, religious, elitist wankers.
Very about
Oh.
Titan. So much about Titan.
No, never heard it. Sorry.
Right.
No, that's okay. That was a bit of a big one to just throw at you.
Hi, how are you?
Hello.
What brings you to Older
Yeah.
Hearts? Nice to see you, Benny.
Yeah, nice to see you too. I'm just gonna be right back. I just like teleported and I'm fucking hungry, so I'm just gonna get some raw meat over there and then come back. Yeah,
There's
easy.
a very sickly looking Joe Bean by the bar. No one will miss him.
Oh my god.
No, I kid. You can get some awful.
I haven't done that in a long time, Josh. All right. Whatever.
He's a
Wow, you
reformed-
eat someone once and then the jokes
Yeah, it's just-
never stop.
Yeah, I only ate like 3 people. God.
I didn't even kill that one.
Yeah.
He's a reformed cannibal, not a current cannibal.
Not really. It was
Somebody's
quite
gotta
recent.
clean up.
Didn't you eat an elemental on the fire? Never mind. Riffin's
yes.
cousin, who owns the bar, whose name currently escapes me, is like, "Oh, hey, lad. Yeah, all right." He remembers you. You are a well-known person in Alderheart. And
Still
he's like,
getting
"Oh,
used to the fact that I'm well
of
known.
course. Yeah. Not you are. You know how some
They don't
celebrities
go-
are like
Yeah, they
not,
don't go in the street like,
Yeah.
hey, but yeah.
You're like not Val Kilmer, Keanu Reeves style, like cool and groovy, low key celebrity. Not like, oh my god, it's Keanu Reeves. It's everyone's like, yeah, he actually likes to be left alone. That sort of situation.
He's a personality.
Yeah, absolutely. And
You're gonna have to explain that from anyone not from Perth.
not really. It's like celebrity. Yeah, you're famous where you are.
Yes.
He also knows kung fu. Does he though? Sort of. He's very good at acrobatics. So yeah,
he's
Bennett,
a very dexterous wizard.
He offers you a dirty squiz and a plate of offal.
Sweet. I just
he lays it on. Like he's like, here you go, lad, free of charge.
Oh really? No, I should probably pay.
Everybody gets one, mate. You saved all the heart once, you get a free meal once. How about that?
Really hard to deny that. Thank you.
Comes back, sits down, and we might take. Is it like being Twitch famous? A little bit. I think it's better than that. And I think we might take a quick breaklet because we're going for 2 hours. So we will be back in just a moment, just to refresh ourselves, maybe help Karen stop crying from tears of pain and coughing.
I've stopped.
Do the same.
Okay. Whoop.
It's like, do the same, audience. Take a break.
Take 5, have a break, and we'll be back very shortly. Cool. Yeah. We shall be right back. Say goodbye, everybody. Vast and ahoy once again, mateys. We be back. In the break, I did a quick piece of maths and just made sure everybody was on the same page. So, in Scops' chest that Julio and, that Arthur and Kesh actually retrieved from the Thornmail, was approximately 250 gold pieces worth of gear plus the boomstick. It was 275 piece rubies and 100 gold coins worth of money. Most of it foreign, but Petra was happy to accept it. So there's that. Then there was 500 gold pieces for bringing Scops in dead, or alive, but dead. And then another 250 each between the three of you for disposing of the wake worm. Javier and or Arthur are welcome to pick up the last 250, but it was per head for up to 4 people. You've received 750 for that. So all up, 1,500 gold pieces, which I'm happy to split between the three of you because you're the ones left. And Javier made off with all the health potions.
Prick.
So yeah, you have 500 gold pieces apiece, and the gangs that went missing, Julio, were the Breakers and the 6th Alley crew.
Have I heard of any of them before?
You've heard of the Breakers, yeah.
What kind of jobs do they do?
They are, protection racket. Like, we will not beat you up if you pay us. And basically a bunch of muscle. And they were known to be not picky about what they did. The 6th Alley crew, Kesh might have heard of. They are a sneakier bunch, primarily bird folk. And they were into the moving of contraband, drugs to a degree. Drugs are not a massive issue in the Humblewood, but mostly because it's not illegal. It's just sort of socially frowned upon. If you want to get illicit substances, they would probably be some of the people to go to. They've both gone missing.
What would be the Humblewood equivalent of opium?
Making something up on the fly, a pink powder from the... Hi, Castellan.
What an entrance!
Very solid entrance. Castellan, good to see you, mate.
You want to buy some magic? Sorry, my earring just got hooked on my cardigan while I was laughing.
It is a purple substance. It is derived from a flower, a powdered form essentially of a flower that you
Probably a very sussy flower, huh?
Yeah, probably sussy. And in a very sussy way, you sort of put it under your tongue, and it induces a very pleasant euphoria. That's just great.
It's just great.
Don't do drugs, kids.
Just
They
great.
are great. They're just
have
great.
Never taken I say that as a person who is actively drinking a beer, but I've never taken anything harder than beer.
I like my drugs prescribed by my doctor to keep me alive.
I mean, there is that. Good.
Really
Purple.
makes them feel more meaningful.
It's pink. It's not purple. Sussy forest. Yep. Can I have some of this flower powder? I mean, Bali, I'm not stopping you. The local law enforcement is. So, yeah, that's the answer to that question. Why?
Oh, because I was just hearing, I was listening to a podcast about the cyclothymia and the opioid epidemic. I've got opium on the brain right now.
Yes. Literally?
Having opium on the brain is probably something you should consult
really
your doctor
Yes.
about.
Or not. Yeah, I mean,
started two
no.
wars.
sometimes you have to consult
great.
your doctor to get opium on your brain. The man
been
always getting in the
prescribed
way of
opium.
my euphoria. All right.
Hey, Bennick, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
Right, I am here now with this
What a
this
segue.
plate. Actually, wanted to see you, Kesh.
Oh, me.
Yeah, I was looking for you. Mainly
Hey.
because yeah.
This is a different bar. Julio, is it something about us that... Sorry, Bennick, this is the second time in 2 days that
Yeah.
someone has found us in a bar and said, Kesh, I need you for something.
I
Oh.
think Kesh has just, this air of, attractiveness to strange people.
She has a reputation for solving problems and shooting trouble.
Yeah, but the question is now, have you recently been in any of high seriousness heists, Bennick?
Yes.
Have you perhaps...
Not on this
Have
plane.
you stolen money that might belong to the Wildwood Brigade? Because we don't want to
No.
fall for that one twice.
Nowadays, we
no,
just
no,
have
no,
to
no.
ask...
Some water merit thing.
What?
Oh.
Yeah.
This feels like it's a long story that we don't have time for.
I-
Why were you looking for me exactly?
Oh. I need to do some fact checking because I was informed. Let me look at this letter again in my brain.
I'm really glad
So
I sent
that-
it to you.
I won't, tell you the wrong thing, but I kind of lean in closer conspiratorially.
Should we go?
I mean,
Sorry.
probably not. I'm just
we're
gonna say
cool.
not.
We're on the
I mean,
level.
do you?
I don't have a
you
problem
seem
with
nice
them
at the
hearing.
wedding. No clue about Julio, so nice to meet you though. It's just
Look, if it'll make you more comfortable, Bennick, I'm sure they wouldn't mind, going to another table for a couple of minutes.
But also, can I make a case? I had just recently got this tree named Susan, and it's still alive. I'm responsible. I can be trusted.
Oh yes, that's the shoot that that came from the wedding. How's your cutting going, Bennick? Forget about that. Let's move on with the plot.
Let's focus. There's a plot in here. I just know it.
Dan doesn't even know about this.
We arbitrarily
dead.
decided everyone got a miniature sapling as a party favor. So you have a miniature sapling if it comes up.
You were given one. You didn't
Highly
necessarily
likely
keep
dead.
it.
Look, I
It's
trust
somewhere.
these two. If you are comfortable with them being here, they may be able to help.
I mean, I'm not gonna refuse. 3 brains are better than 1, so
2.5. Julio's there.
Wow.
You couldn't even stop Arthur from becoming a boat for one day.
Excuse me, that's because I didn't try. Okay, I was up for it. If I was
That's
against,
fair.
surely.
Valid.
yeah.
Okay, no, that's
So you
fair.
got you there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, what do you need help with?
Well, I wanted to be. I haven't been in all the heart in quite a while. Mainly because I don't really go here. I'm in the avium most of the time.
Do you even go here?
I don't even go here.
He doesn't even go here.
But there's. I've been told by somebody that is quite, shall we say, connected in ways that are still mysterious to be honest, that some people are being held against their will within the government.
By the government.
By the government. Without explanation or trial, but just like actually honest citizens of the Humblewood.
That checks
But-
out.
But they
That's
don't
what we
know. But they don't know why, or even if it's real. So, they sent me here to figure it out. If it is real, if it is worth.
Benek, do you know
Mhm.
how this person got this information?
Probably some less than reputable means.
Do you know what? Are you comfortable saying who?
Kesh would know the man.
I mean, I would like. I understand that the other defenders are quite adamant about this being a completely bad idea, but I mean, I should say, I guess, for full disclosure, and I also want to say that please don't dismiss it immediately, because that's not conducive to a healthy work environment. But it's Crawl.
Oh, right.
What do you know? Who's that?
Do I know? Do either of us know Kra?
You would know of Kral a bit. It would mainly depend on how much Kesh has talked about him. Kral was one half of the leadership of the Bandit Coalition while she was in it. He was the half that didn't trust Alderheart, and he was the more violent, more militant side of the Bandit Coalition. When the Bandit Coalition became the Wildwood Brigade, he did not become part of it with it. The other offer that was presented to the potential brigadiers was they took basically indemnity against all crimes and were allowed to go on their merry as long as they didn't commit any more crimes. And they disbanded. Some didn't take either option and continued to just be bandits. Kral took the second option. He's not a member of the Bandit Coalition, but he's not a member of the Wildwood Brigade. He's just off, and Benek knows, he is off running a mine with some other former Bandit Coalition people who didn't trust the government either. And his main falling out with the Defenders of Alderheart was that they were prepared to trust the government and Kral was not. Kral evidently still does not trust the government, and...
So, out of character, there were two big bandit bosses. One of them had Shiloh on his payroll.
That
and the
was
other
Kral.
one is Kral. Oh,
No.
that's the guy.
Kral is Shila's old boss.
Okay, now it checks out. Mhm.
Ben Aseridon is the other one, who Kesh was sort
The
of...
general.
Kesh was sort of her second. Or rather... She wasn't initially, but when the Wildwood Brigade, when the Defenders of Alderheart basically brokered the truce between the Wildwood Brigade and between the bandits and Alderheart, Ben Aseridon was the one who did that with them, and Kesh was the person that Benna appointed to run the Bandit Coalition while she was brokering that truce. So Kesh sort of became Benna's second-in-command, equal to Shyla Den, and very much in opposition to Kral. They actually had a fight, and Kral carved out Nevermore's eye. That's how bad it got. That's how Nevermore lost his eye. So it was pretty heated. The defenders of Alderheart don't like Kral particularly, with good reason. Kral maintains he was in the right. He was, in fairness, and I'm significantly fairer to him than everybody else is, I think, but he was he was pretty reasonable with them when he determined that they weren't here to just kill Bena Seradin, which was their original instructions. He was like, cool, I'm just going to make sure Bena's not around, and then you can go free, because I don't want you anywhere near her, because she's the sort who'd believe you, and I don't trust the offer that you've got, even if I do trust you. So that's sort of a potted history of Kral. And he's, I think, misunderstood. But this is it. He and Bennick have different backstory. So Kesh would know Kral and not... I don't think Kesh hates Kral. Karen can decide, but
Kesh wouldn't hate Kral, but she obviously didn't agree with him because she didn't take his side.
No. In fact, Kesh wound up with a crossbow pointed at Kral in the end of that fight. It was sort of Kesh that disarmed that ended that fight. But yeah, you know of Kral, and you know him to be opinionated but not unreasonable, I suppose, is the trick. In most cases.
And he's the one who sent me to you, guys, in to look for you, because I guess he knew about you being like a person in place of power, so...
We're back. I apologize, everybody. Thank you for hanging out with us. And, there's a lot of people with us.
Hello, everybody.
We will continue on. Thank you for sticking with us. Yes, Australian Internet. It's the best.
If we get 3 more viewers, we get to the sexiest of numbers.
Excellent. Tell you what, if we get to 3 more viewers, there might be a sex cult.
Oh no.
Not promising sex cults.
I make no promises. Right, I love that throughout all of it, Sirenscape did not stop playing in my ears.
Well, isn't Sirenscape so reliable then?
It has stopped playing for me.
Okay, I will read
for me.
I will well, we're in the wrong soundscape anyway. Let's have that one, because we're in the Hung Drawn and Quarters now. And you are discussing Kral.
Yeah, where did I lose you? I knew that was like a big shock, and you had that look on your face, but I just wanted to double check.
Look, I don't necessarily have a problem with this. I'm just, I have a lot of thoughts, but if I trust someone to have their nose to the ground in terms of the council doing shady shit, it's Kral. So, and there is some shady shit being done. I've discovered.
So it is true then.
We're not sure how true. Certainly true to an extent.
There's certainly investigating that needs to happen.
Very much so.
But the question is, how do we approach that? We can't just go to the council and say, hey, do you have people cooped up somewhere illegally?
What if there were people being taken? Where would they take them to, do you think?
Probably some of those nasty secret tunnels.
Well, we didn't see anyone locked up down there, though, did we?
I don't think we've checked everything. Maybe let's... how about that? We have a suspect. If we, try to kind of strong arm them into giving us info, maybe we'll have like a person on the inside. What do you think about this? Lemaire, La Luna,
Larimar.
Lego... Yes.
Danik, it's worth noting that the location you've been given is not in Alderheart.
Oh fuck, I forgot about the back of the letter. Hold on. I get the letter out, but like the other side. So he also said this.
Do you mind? May I look at this?
I mean, yeah. Why not?
This part here is the Scorched Grove. How well do I know the area that's on the map?
Quite. Not incredibly, but quite well. 71, very close. It is at the northern edge of the Scorched Grove. You would be passingly familiar with it.
Is it? I imagine that most things in the Scorched Grove or on the edge of the Scorched Grove would be basically barren, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
And so I wouldn't be aware of any kind of structures or settlements.
Loads of old ones, but nothing new, and nothing. Anything that was there now of any major size would be new.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, Chief, how you want to go about this, but if we wanted to investigate this location, I could easily get us there.
Look, at this point, I feel like we need to do a little bit of poking around, because I don't know who to trust anymore.
Yeah.
Well, I have some idea of who to trust, but none of them are conveniently located right now, so we kind of have to do some sneaking until we're sure.
I have a
Well,
question.
Sure.
Yes?
Ereq and Ereq, you are magic-y people, correct?
yeah,
Yes.
I'm a journeyman abjurer from the APM, yes.
Mm-hmm. Do any of you have any way of, like, reading someone's thoughts?
Pretty sure that's covered in divination class, but that's not my style.
Yes, it's not quite my wheelhouse either, although I'm fairly good at just reading people.
I don't suppose
Yeah.
either of you are good at sending magical messages over long distance.
Ooh. No.
Not me.
Wait. I need to look at my book.
Let me just check.
Nope, it's not in
It
there.
is?
Because
Aw.
I lost my actual book. And I keep forgetting that it's not my real book.
Nevermore
So,
does have sending, doesn't he?
Yeah, but it's not me. I
No,
don't have it.
No, Omi was saying that wasn't even Nevermore's wheelhouse. I think it actually was Nevermore's wheelhouse.
I
Had
have
message.
yes.
Ah.
I
Right.
have message. I
You
don't
have message.
sending. Not long distances.
It's just, it would really help to be able to talk to Shyla Den, but there's no real way to do that right now.
I mean, there is sorta.
So you could.
If I had a scroll of it, yeah.
Where would we acquire?
Fuck knows. I don't know if it's in the capital, but you know, you can. I
You
doubt
can,
you're rich
You
enough to
can
buy one.
you can either buy scrolls of sending, or you can hire a sender.
Okay.
Are there scrolls that we can buy in Oldheart?
You could probably buy one up in the market. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
If we could talk to Shyla Den, we can find out how it panned out from her end,
Mhm.
which I suspect is very differently to what Niels has been told, and probably different again from what the actual intentions are.
Oh, you're actually thinking about this route. I was just throwing it out there in the wind. I do have to say that, you know, it's quite short and probably very expensive, so you have to think about what you want to say.
Right.
Yeah, it's
Whoa.
literally it's 25 words,
25 words, yeah.
and they can respond
you
with
just-
25 words.
Can't you just, like, look at the scroll and then do it again?
No, not those ones.
Can she reply?
Yes.
Yeah, in the same way.
Okay, so
You would be aware that there is a it's like a telegram office sort of thing. It's not cheap, as Manic said. It's about 20 gold pieces a pop. But yeah, you can send messages to other parts of the Older Heart and it's basically just a group of wizards who just do sending spells.
God, sexting in this world is
It's really awkward because someone else has to do the sending for you. Yeah.
awful
You just say they're going,
expensive.
Yeah,
oh, baby,
very.
I love it when you stroke my tail.
It's almost a gold
That's-
piece a character.
That's your motivation to go to wizard school, so you can
Yeah.
do it.
Sexting cheaper. Yeah.
So you can message people about each other's cloacas.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, give me that cloaca. Oh my god.
We're definitely not furries, I swear.
No, it's featheries. Featheries.
I mean, I'm not sure how I feel about having someone else send those kinds of messages on our behalf. And I, for one, am starting to get pretty keen to leave Older Heart. So I would like to do it on the road. Bennick, I assume you would be keen to investigate this place with us?
Yeah, I guess I should have asked if you don't mind. I kind of just implied that I was gonna come, did I? Yeah, if
Well, you
don't.
kind of are involved now, so I feel like it would be sensible for you to come rather than, you just sit here twiddling your thumbs.
Talons.
Thumb equivalents. While we go do it. Oh, goodness.
The implication was that
Guys,
he would go.
I'm feeling a little, I don't know, a little overwhelmed maybe? I don't know. That's a lot. I've learnt a lot this morning and very little of it.
Wait, hold on. Can't you just look up shit with your authority?
Unclear.
You could try.
The word of the day is fired, Fennec.
Oh.
Well, even if she wasn't fired, Bennick, we are suspicious that Kesh's immediate supervisors, the higher-ups, are
Sus.
directly involved in this.
Sussy.
Oh.
So anything I might obtain through official channels might be compromised, I suppose would be one way of putting it.
You know, over this past month or so, I am really regretting not taking a major in divination, but that's okay. Here we are.
Yeah.
Chief, you mentioned you're overwhelmed. Do you mind if I propose a course of action?
Go right ahead. It might help me straighten my thoughts.
Okay. How about, look, if you're going to be with us for some time anyway, Bennick, then it might be in our best interest for you to be able to cast this spell yourself. So maybe we can go to the market, find you a scroll. Can you transcribe?
It takes me a bit to transcribe, yeah.
So
I have to translate it to my terms, and
Right.
that takes a bit of time.
So, well, maybe that's something you can start to do on the road. We get the scroll. We leave before sundown tonight. What time is it, DM?
It's about lunchtime.
Like lunchtime.
Yeah.
We leave either before sundown tonight or first thing tomorrow. We head towards the Scorched Grove and we see what the heck is happening in this location. And if there's nothing, then fantastic. And if
Nothing.
there's something, then we figure out what it is.
Is Shiloh's place on the way?
Well,
No.
Shiloh's in the oh
The
god,
crest.
Yes.
the crest. Shiloh's in the crest. She's nowhere near here, unfortunately. It's a trip to go see her, which is why I
Yeah,
was
but is
hoping
it the same direction?
No.
It's pretty much.
It's
They're both
almost
north.
a polar opposite.
They're both north, but the crest is to the north and a little bit east, and where you're going is northwest. Pretty much due northwest.
Kesh, do you want to ask our suspect any questions before we leave, or like look at their fingers and stuff? We kind of didn't follow up on that at all.
Yes, I was thinking if I go surprise them in their office, and I have a pretext for doing so, then I might be able to sneak some handwriting sample and also see how their hands are looking. Though, is it possibly too soon to be checking their hands? Like, is it enough time?
We didn't get the impression that they were there in the office every day, so it may be too soon to check the hands, but I think I wouldn't want to stay here much longer for now while there's things to be done. And I think that at least getting a sample of handwriting is something.
Yes, it gives us a point to start on, and it might rule them out, which means we can have our minds open to other possibilities rather than being, well, it must be this person. And look, I think it's worth a shot before we head off. It won't take me long, theoretically. What do you think?
Yeah.
Yes, I think that's a good idea.
I think I should go alone, though, to avoid arousing unnecessary levels of suspicion rather than all of us turning up being like...
No, I think that's a good idea. I think he's going to be... I hope he's not too frustrated with me seeing him 3 times in 2 days, but I might check in with Havel to see if we can get kind of a cover for the reason why we're leaving in the first place. If we say very loudly or ask Havel to say very loudly that he's asked me, accompanied by the 3 of you, to investigate the Scorched Grove, then nobody should be suspicious about our leaving that direction.
I mean, we can always use the old classic personal reasons.
I mean, we can, but I think that if we have official word from the tenders...
Yeah, official is better, but
yeah,
in a pinch, you can just be like, personal reasons.
Yes. And so I can do that while you're checking in with the council, and potentially Benek and Julio can check the market and see if they can find any useful scrolls.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. All right.
Sounds good plan.
That is the plan of attack.
Very well. In which
Goodness
case...
me, let's meet back here in an hour, shall we say?
Right.
All right. Julio and Benek, you may make...
Just to be clear, if this all goes to shit really quick, let's meet outside town at some identifiable location that Kesh would definitely know, but Karen does not.
Okay.
Let's
Do
say
you
the
want to
Northwest
give
Gate.
us- Do you want to give us money for the scrolls at all?
Yeah, I'm very poor.
Yes.
Defend is charity work, honestly.
Yeah, Benek actually is the only defender that doesn't make money off it.
That is criminal. We have plenty of money, so we'll toss some coins around.
I mean, here's 500 gold.
What the? Thank you.
Wow.
A scroller like this would cost no more than 200.
Great. Copying it over is also. I just had to check the rules. 150. So.
Yeah.
350.
Yeah.
Look, if there's anything spare, pick me up something fancy.
Oh god. Oh, I already struggled getting fancy shit for the wedding. Oh, my god.
So
I'll do that.
Julio, Benek,
Presents.
you go. You are both welcome to make me investigation checks to find a sending scroll and/or something fancy for Ereq. And if you could detail me what kind of fancy thing you would like, you can do that.
I know nothing about magic. Can I assist Benek?
Sure. Investigation with advantage, Benek. That's probably for the best.
Roll. Hey. 15.
15. Yeah, you find. It's not coming up on my thing anymore. It's probably because my internet's being really stupid. So never mind. Yeah, you find. You definitely find a scroll of sending. And what sort of fancy thing would you be wanting to get?
No.
I can give you some time to think about it if you like. Or no, sorry, you're role playing. Carry on.
I'm like standing in front of the shelves, being like,
Benek, I don't know if... have you known Ereq for long?
all I know of him is at the wedding, and there was like a fire thing. There was a lot of fire, so I'm thinking of something fire related, but I'm not sure if that's like in poor taste because I think he's a tender.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe like a fire extinguisher keychain. I don't know. This makes me very worried because recently Ereq was very cross with me, and I just don't want to fuck this up.
Now I'm extra worried. Okay. Well, this is a lot of pressure now.
No, actually, I have a thought. So
Yeah.
yesterday, don't tell anyone. And
We're just
please
browsing.
don't tell anyone. But yesterday, Ereq talked with the tree, right? And it was like, oh, you have 2 souls. Ooh. And the fire elemental, the hope, the little magic feather, yeah,
Okay.
it's alive. And I suppose it flies around sometimes. So maybe we can find something for hope? I don't know.
I mean, that's an okay idea. Isn't hope made of fire?
I don't know.
How do you put
I've
something
seen
on something made of fire? I'm not trying to shoot your idea down. I'm just like, what are we gonna get?
Listen, I've never had a pet. This, Susan, is
Neither.
my pet. I don't know anything.
There was
we need a shop
sapling at the
assistant.
wedding. I just like gave it to one of the conjurers. I think they do better job at it.
Okay. Julio, can you make me a straight intelligence check?
Oh, yes, of course I can.
I love this anxiety from just like an offhanded.
So cute.
12.
A 12. Julio,
Pyramid. Yep.
you see someone selling miniature birds' nests, like ornamental birds' nests, that are about the right size for Hope.
Okay. I mean, she is fire. Sorry, can you have like non-flammable nests?
She looks a little confused and then goes, "What, like made of wire?"
Yes, maybe with some baubles, maybe some cute design.
Oh, I love this already.
So, yeah, this she doesn't have any because she's like, why would you? But she doesn't just weave nests. She also weaves baskets and things that are in the shape of nests, and they have to be reinforced with wire. So over the next 20 minutes, she and her daughter, this is a little pair of hedge ladies, weave a steel nest with egg-shaped baubles in it. For you. They will give it to you for it's 10 gold pieces for labor and materials.
Nice. Although I have 220 and this number is very dear to me, I will pay 10 gold pieces. And as we wait for the process to end, I will kind of whisper to Bennett, "Hey Bennett, I'm not a bird folk. Is giving a bird folk a nest kind of like, uncouth? Maybe like I'm implying that he needs to settle down or something?"
I don't know, Bennick, is it?
I don't. I mean, I'm not from here. So
I don't even go here.
I am, and we were nomadic. And I think if somebody gave me a nest like that, it's kind of. Never mind. Yeah, I think he'd appreciate it if it's from you.
It's from us. It's from us.
Shared joy,
Please.
shared blame.
Yes. If it goes wrong, it's from us.
Okay. I don't know if it's fancy enough. Maybe I should put an enchantment on it. It takes time though.
Oh, no, that's a good idea though. What can you do? How do you enchant it?
Well, it has to be a spell I know, and I just slap it in there. Maybe it's basically. I think the easiest way is like a spell scroll for him, but it's a nest.
Okay. Can you do just minor illusion, sparks? I don't know, something.
I guess that would be easy, but I don't know minor illusion. I don't take illusion classes.
Okay, what's the abjure thing? You don't know sending, you don't know illusion. What do you do, Panic? And that's it?
Abjury is a
What are you going for?
Abjury is a noble arts. I'm not gonna endure the slander.
Okay, but it's noble art of what exactly?
It's prevention and blocking, things like that, like dispelling magic.
Ah. Okay, I don't think this is useful. Let's just take the nest and go.
Bishop
Let's just
Blood,
take them.
what's even the point of you?
I'm just gonna.
I'm a tank. He's a wizard tank.
I'm gonna walk up to the
That
cannon.
tank turned into a boat.
Can I have a scroll of sending, please?
It's
And
so
100
dumb.
Of course, sir. Of course.
and 150 gold pieces worth of spare magical
Materials?
parchment and ink and stuff. Yes, please.
Very well. Very well. And it is done.
Thank you.
He knows
Have
it
a
like
nice-
it's a wizard, like wizard to wizard. It's like, yeah, good.
Yeah. Have a nice day. Just
We
walk away.
awkwardly leave.
You do that. This is not in the same shop as the bird's nest made of wire. And because that was joyful, but we are running out of time, I'm going to move on. Kesh, you go up to see Larimer.
I do.
You do. Kesh, Larimer is... so this isn't actually in the office where you normally meet her. You would be going in to see her office.
Yes, I would.
Yeah, you would. So, you march up to the council building and go in and ask to meet with... You find a clerk, presumably?
Yeah.
Because I don't
And
think
I don't
you would
ask
know.
to meet with Larimar. I tell them, I'm just going up to Larimar's office. They're expecting me.
Oh, wow, okay. Make me a persuasion check, then.
I'm just bulling my way in here.
Valid. Love it.
See how my shitty charisma pans out for this. Oh shit, an 8.
The person... Oh, well, hang on. Actually, I'll give you advantage.
Oh, okay.
I
It's very
kinda want
generous
this to
of you.
work.
Well, that's a 6. So,
And you are very
that
famous.
eight's-
However, the other person is on a... yeah. So you just sort of carry on as they try and derail you. Kesh, also make me a survival check.
Ooh, I am intrigued.
Survive this
this-
encounter.
Though this is-
18.
18, there you go. Yeah. So, whilst this person doesn't stop you, they sort of trundle along beside you and also kind of inadvertently lead you in the correct direction. They precede you like yes, but of course, but Councilperson Larimar is very busy, and you don't understand. I don't know if she is expecting you. You're not in my list. You're not in the list today, I'm afraid, Major. And they're sort of backing away in front of you and inadvertently lead you directly to Larimar's office. As Kesh sort of just ignores them. Like, yeah, but I'm going to see her anyway. So you get
Like,
to
this is happening,
Larimar's-
make your peace with it, excuse me.
and then you go
I'm very
into...
busy and important.
It was like, and this young male functionary, he's a loomer who looks like quite flustered. Comes like, sorry, council lady. Major Glitterweave is here to see you. Apparently she has an appointment. Like, I know she doesn't. And I was like, I'll leave you. Bye. And goes. And he closes the door behind him, and Larimar sort of is a bit stunned and looks up from her office, and her hands sort of go under the desk, and yeah, she looks up and is like, hello, Major Glitterweave. Good to see you, actually.
Councilwoman, sorry for the urgency of me just diving on in here, but I just heard a matter, and I just needed to address it straight away.
Of course. I've actually got your next assignment here. I was going to ask to see you tomorrow morning, but seeing as you're here, I can relay it now.
Tomorrow morning would be great because I do need to go and take care of something today. I'm happy to come back tomorrow morning, but yes, I've had something come up and I need to go deal with it. But I wanted to deal with this first, because I stuck my head into the brigade, say hi to a few people and all that. And I came across the information that the payroll had been stolen and the brigaders weren't going to be able to be paid in full. And obviously, I like to make sure everyone's all right. So I wanted to make up some of the shortfall from my own earnings, just to, as a loan, just to kind of get everyone paid and get everyone kind of ticking over. But I thought I'd better just, pop in here and make sure that was okay before I just started throwing money at the brigade. I just didn't want anyone to misunderstand.
Right. Yes, that's not a problem. That's very kind of you. I have no problem with that at all. If you would interface with your fellow major over there, I'm sure he can sort it all out.
Oh yes, we had a lovely chat. Very nice man. He was very helpful.
Yes. I don't know if he explained the situation. So I understand from yesterday that you weren't best pleased, and I appreciate that. We were not clear with you the first time. So there is another job for you to do. It's simple finishing off another elemental, actually, but we think this one is probably the last. It's to the northwest of here, about 2 days north, up near the Scorched Grove, actually. Simple job, ought to be easy for you. And then when you get back here, of course, you're very welcome to take over your previous position in the brigade. So it would actually be your own responsibility to pay yourself back.
Oh, that would look a little dodge. So I'll
well, it's
I'll
all on the
organise
books.
that.
As long as it's all on the books, that's fine.
Yes. I just don't want anyone to think I'm doing any malarkey with the money. That would be very improper.
Do you want to insight that?
A 12.
Yes, she, I will roll. She, laughs, but in a sort of forced way.
Who would do such a thing?
Not quite that bad, but, it's sort of I would say she is sussy flower, but not the way you expect.
Right.
Not necessarily. You couldn't say for certain that in the way that you were looking for, basically.
Gotcha. What is behind her in her office?
So her office is, think every movie you've ever seen set in the White House. The walls are painted white. They have the what was the word we discovered recently that for the paneling below the wainscoting. It's got wainscoting around up to about waist height, and above it is white. So it's wooden walls around along the bottom and then white along the top. A blue carpet, the color of the sky, and curtains in a similar color. The windows are quite wide panes of glass as well. This is which you would know to be difficult to make and therefore expensive. Behind her is there are several pieces of artwork on the walls. They are all portraits of former council members. So a whole bunch of birdfolk.
Cool. What is immediately behind her?
A large portrait of her immediate predecessor.
Right. Cool.
Also, can I point out the carpet is the color of the sky where the birds live?
Yeah.
Sus all over.
That's sus. That's a mega sus.
Is that mega sus flower?
It's
pretty
the highest,
amogus.
Yeah, it's the amogust of all.
What's
sus.
amogus mean?
If you don't know, then
It's
No,
fine.
I'm not down with the kids these days.
Bring us back to Kesh's high energy deception she was trying to
Please
pull
do.
off here.
Yeah.
What is on her desk right now?
Stacks of papers, an in-out tray, an inkwell with a sort of a nib rest. A couple of large books. One of them appears to be like Humblewood law, as in LAW.
Is there like a conveniently placed note that if she was briefly distracted, I might be able to whisk off the
Not
desk?
necessarily a note, but yeah, there's a couple of instances. In the outbox certainly contains a couple of letters that haven't been taken by a functionary to post.
Right.
That would be presumably in her handwriting.
Cool. Basically, I'm looking for something that I can just quickly
You
whisk
can sleight
off
of
the
hand.
desk.
Yep. Should have
Yeah.
brought Julio with you.
I
Yeah,
really
all right.
should have.
Yeah.
Like I'm not terrible at sleight of hand.
No. Dex character.
Before I go, you don't happen to have any like spare bits of paper I could take with me? I'm just running a bit low and I don't want to have to run to the market.
Persuasion check. Bishop Blood makes a good suggestion.
12.
She frowns or goes, yes, all right, and sort of goes into a drawer and pulls out like a sheaf of about a dozen pieces of blank parchment.
Cool. I'm going to try and whisk a piece of paper off her desk while she's...
While she does that, sleight of hand check me, please. Are you going for one of the ones in the out tray?
Oh, 8.
Oof.
Oh, no.
Am I suddenly there to help?
No.
She catches me right, doesn't she? Like, oh, is this to so-and-so? I haven't seen them in ages. How are they doing?
It does not appear. It is an interdepartmental memo. But yeah, she does catch you looking at it, like holding it.
Yeah,
Seems
I
like-
do almost exactly that. I'm like, oh, so-and-so, they're still kicking about. How they been?
Deception check, I think.
Oof. Oof. Kesh gonna die.
Oh my God, pray for me. 16.
She goes, the councilman is very well.
Here, you know.
Then she goes, would you like your... And she hands you the paper and takes that back off you, and puts it back in the out tray and says, would you care to take the information about your mission with you?
Yes, that way, if it's convenient for us to go straight on, we will. Could you just jot down some notes for me? That'd be really
And
helpful.
she picks up like a manila folder and just hands it to you.
Can I flick it open?
Yes, you can. It contains a map, it's not a picture, but it's not a photograph, but it's a picture of the elemental in question. Sort of a rough artist's rendering by survivors. There's stick figures running away from it. It appears to have the form of a whirlwind. Yeah, it's known to be in a particular area not very far from where you're being sent with Bennick.
Excellent. And is anything in here written in her handwriting?
There is several examples of handwriting. Like, it depends how long you want to look.
Basically, I want to make sure I'm leaving with a sample of her handwriting.
Make me an investigation check.
18.
Yeah. So in here you have there is probably two different handwritings. There is hers, and also you would guess possibly Memphis's. The captain of the Perch Guard. But there is formal orders written by her.
Cool. Great. Awesome. Didn't need to try and get caught stealing shit from her desk after all. What a shame. Okay. And we're like, I'm so sorry for all the chatting. I think I had too much coffee with my lunch. But thanks for this. We'll be right on it as soon as possible.
It also says that the bounty for killing it is 600 gold pieces.
Per person?
What?
Total.
No,
Per person?
total. Yeah.
Oh my God. The entirety of the Wildwood Brigade just got 1,000, and we had a 600 per person.
No, 600 total. So it would be between the four of you, 160? No. Yeah, about that.
Numbers.
Anyway, awesome. Thank you so much, Larimar. Sorry for barging in. I just really wanted them to get what they're due. It matters to me.
No, I appreciate that. Well done. It's why we want you back in the job.
Oh, thank you. Well, it's nice to be appreciated. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. I don't know what's happening with my accent.
Yeah,
I'm so nervous.
it's probably not helped by the Welsh. So,
Oh, I'm come from the valleys.
oh, right from the valleys.
I'd like a Welsh cake and some rabbit, please.
Ereq, you go to see Havel.
Part of it actually is because I just took my inhaler, so now I'm a bit buzzy.
Right, okay. Yes.
Also, wasn't Havel the guy who kinda sorta asked Eric on a date a day ago?
He did not, but yes. It is
There
that
was that
person.
vibe. It was in the
Look,
air.
you are all choosing to misread things, but fine. Okay.
Yes, I knock on his door, see if he's there.
You do that. Yeah, he is. Actually, he is not in there. But you do hear his voice from Gabby's sort of workshop.
Oh, God. Okay, I pop my head in. Hello.
2 potential dates. Oh,
Why not both?
yes, exactly. ¿Por qué nos dos? Oh, hey, Eric. Hi, Eric.
Hello, the two of you.
What brings you to my neck of the woods?
Well, you're just great, but I was actually here to speak to you, Havel. Would you?
Gabby
would
looks
you mind?
quite hurt. Or disappointed.
I'm sorry. Next time I'm back in town,
She perches right back up again.
Yes, we will do something. Havel,
Even better. Havel's like, sure, no, come with. Yeah, let's go to my office.
Thanks.
We'll touch wingtips later.
Sure.
Sorry. This is why I don't take my inhaler if I don't really need to, because I'm now pinging slightly. Sorry.
Okay.
That's fine.
You are all so awkward. It's lovely. All right. It's like Kesh is the only normal-ish being here, and even she does weird stuff. All right. Havel sits down behind his desk and gestures. He says, "Yeah, have you thought more about my offer? I wasn't expecting you so soon."
I close the door. Actually, I'm sorry, this isn't about that. It's about the other thing that we were speaking about this morning.
Oh, sure. You want a date?
What?
No, I'm being silly.
There's a bowl of dates. No, someone has come to us with information about people potentially being held unlawfully, and the location is right on the edge of the Scorched Grove. So, and this is potentially related to what we are already investigating. So I was just wondering if, I'm going anyway, where me and my friends are going, but I just wanted it known in amongst the community that I've been put on an official assignment back in the Scorched Grove for now.
You're asking me to assign you to the Scorched Grove?
Perhaps on like a bit of a reconnaissance mission, or perhaps just to relay a message, but I just want it to not be suspicious that the four of us are going to the Scorched Grove.
I see. Eric, this puts me in a little bit of a difficult position. That's potentially pretty dangerous place. I mean, less so now, but still, it's still actively on fire. You're good with fire. Don't get me wrong.
I mean, if there are people being held there against their will,
No, I understand that completely. I do, and I know I can't stop you going. You can make an insight check if you like.
sure.
This when we find out he's in on it, and it's really awkward.
Yeah, don't make him sus as well.
Don't be the big bad.
Yeah, it's
He's
Havel.
a bird.
Havel all along. Yeah, the mild mannered Gallus. Come on, Eric. 27, nat 20. Okay.
Wow.
Then I'm just gonna have to give you everything. Yeah.
He's the big bad.
Yeah, he is. He's the evil one. We must laminate him and wear him around our necks at the after party in paradise. So he says he's really struggling with this. He says, "Look, Eric, I am gonna level with you because I respect you. I was asked to move you off the job with Kesh and the gang. The request came down from quite high, and basically the person in question is concerned for you, worried that you would be hurt. So now they are not they don't technically have authority to tell me what to do, but they did ask in such a way it's difficult to say no. I said I would offer you, and it was your choice. And their response was, that's all I could ask. So I offered, and I'm giving you the choice. But if I was to, off the back of that, tell you to specifically go and give you an assignment officially that you had to go and have a look, that would be pretty much the direct opposite of what this person asked me to do.
Since when has my grandmother had authority over the tenders?
She is one of our primary donors.
Follow the money.
But that's not why. It's genuinely not.
Is that why I'm in the position that I'm in?
No.
Because of my family?
No, it's not. It's really not. You're being asked to not be in the position you're in because of your family.
But
you hang out with some dangerous people, Eric.
What
Yeah,
danger
guys
was
were
she?
dangerous.
What danger were they concerned about?
If I had to take a guess, wake worms? Come on, man, you could have died.
Well,
One time, Grandma.
I didn't die, and in fact, I was the sole reason why that wakeworm and its child are still alive and well, and potentially protecting the coast. That was me.
I appreciate that, I do, and this is why I said I could promise no more. I said I would make the offer. And now I'm explaining to you why I can't order you officially to go to the place. I do, however, fully support you going. And I know I can't stop you. And I wouldn't try. I'm leveling with you because I respect you and I think you're a pretty amazing guy. I'm sorry that... I'm sorry if you think less of me for this, but your grandmother asked and I said I would try. Interesting point, she didn't used to care. You didn't get into the tenders because Granny Shadowmalt made you. This is literally the first time I've ever been communicated with by Eri Shadowmalt. When the letter came, it was terrifying.
And that was all that she asked about, was about my reassignment? There wasn't anything else that she wanted?
It was a letter. He takes it out and shows you it if you like. It's very it's very not informal. It's very formally written. It's very impersonal. And it's basically just I haven't written it down, so I could, but it basically to Tender Havel. I am going to. It is like I'm going to request something potentially difficult, but I am requesting it to you. I don't want my grandson being put in danger, in harm's way. I am aware that he is associating with dangerous individuals, and I would like him to not be. You have it within your power to reassign him. He would be invaluable in several other places in your organization. Please see to this. And his response was, I will try.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I infer, and maybe I can't, but can I infer from what he said and from reading the letter, is the danger just because we have a tendency to go and do dangerous things, or is it because she knows something about there being targets on the heads of these people?
There is just no way you could infer that from the letter.
Yeah.
I would let the 20 carry. I would let your nat 20 carry over if I could, but there's just no logical way that you could infer that directly.
Yeah. Only I'm still going off that letter to Scops that we found saying, "Hey, deal with these people." But
absolutely,
yeah. There's no way of drawing that connection. Okay.
And also, the handwriting is different.
Oh yes, no, I.
But you would be familiar with your grandmother's handwriting, yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I appreciate your forthrightness. Thank you for letting me know about the situation. Well, I'm glad that I came. I'm sorry that you can't help me. I don't know when I'll be back. Take care.
Ereq, come back.
I'll try.
I don't care when, but come back.
I go.
Yeah. Cool. Very cool. All right, you reconvene, probably outside the Hung, Drawn, and Quartered. Kesh, would you make a pit stop at Nils's office and give him 500 gold pieces?
Yeah, I basically turn up and slap a bag of gold onto the counter.
Pay him properly and leave.
I'm like, this is the payroll. It's technically a loan.
From who?
Me.
Holy. Okay. And he quickly.
I helped catch a pirate.
Yeah, no, I heard that. And he quickly scribbles down something, basically just a formal note. And he says, this is, I am technically officially in charge of this branch of the Wildwood Brigade, so this is officially my receipt of that loan from you. That's technically, and he hands you a piece of vellum, and he says, that's technically worth 500 gold pieces to you. The Wildwood Brigade will reimburse you. I've been given a timeline of about 6 months.
That's fine. I know where the money is. I'm sure you guys can stump me up a few gold if I need it, but I should be okay. Laramar knows, by the way. I told her what was going on.
That's good.
So you don't have to worry about whether to tell her or not. She knows.
No. Okay, good.
Do a good job. I'll see you soon.
Thanks, boss. Sorry, I'm just trying that on for size. I don't mind it.
Can I incite his reaction to my doing this?
Yes, you may.
15.
He seems... Put it like this. He looks like no bird folk would do that. He's like, wow, this one's... Like, when he said, thanks, boss, that did not feel ungenuine.
Cool. That's kind of what I wanted to know. I'm like, is this guy a good egg, or do I need to assassinate him later? For now, he gets to live.
Yeah, you survive another
then-
day. 11.
Cash
All right.
is just stacking wins. This dude can catch no break.
Yeah. So this guy,
I'm
you
trying.
you go significantly poorer. You meet up Bennick.
But
You have
full
all,
of heart.
but yeah, absolutely. You meet back up. Kesh has a job, possibly some proof. Did you perceive Larimar's hands?
Shit. Can we say I did? Because
Yes.
I would have. I'll roll it now.
Please do.
Oh my god. 14.
14. Fortunately, Kesh's perception is very good. She did not seem, with a 14, she did not seem to have ink smudges on her talons.
It is quite soon though, so
Yes.
she might not have had a chance to discover the cunning trap.
Yeah. So the journey was about 2 days to get to where Kesh's target is, and about another day pretty much directly north from that point to get to Bennick's target.
Alright, when we
Okay.
meet up, I'll be like, right, this is the dealio. What do we want to do first?
Interestingly, this gives you a legit reason for going to the place where Bennick is. Yeah.
I'm like, guys, you will not believe our luck. I have a sample of the thing we were discussing. I also have a genuine bona fide reason for us to go where we want to go, and we can make 600 gold pieces doing it.
Oh, speaking of gold,
Yeah.
here you go, Eric. Your 150 change.
Oh, great, thank you.
Oh,
Yeah,
and
no,
also,
thank you.
Eric, you said you wanted something nice. Here you go. This was made commissioned for you.
Oh, wonderful.
It's a
I-
faith. Oh,
Oh.
shit!
Yeah.
Help! It's help.
Yeah.
It's this is for hope.
Yes. Well,
And,
it's
and
a
you, by proxy.
Yes.
Yeah. It was Julio's idea.
But also Bennick enchanted it, so it's good now.
Did he?
Why would you say that?
Oh,
Did he?
did you? Oh,
I didn't have the time to go from when we got it to enchanting it. I would have.
it's. Thank you.
I could enchant it. It's not enchanted right now, but I could. Is that what you want?
Is that what you want?
Is that what you want? Yes, man.
Tell me
talk to
what you want.
Thank you both so much. This is wonderful. I'm sure it doesn't look flammable, so that's positive. I hopefully this is the kind of wire that doesn't melt. But
I did not ask that.
it's delightful. Thank you both. Thank you. And you managed to get what you needed, Bennick?
Yep. I just kind of like unfurl my knapsack, and then it's just like paper at the top. Yeah, it's fine. I just need time.
Well, fantastic. Great. While we're sharing what we came back with, the short answer is that Havel refused to give me official orders to go to the Scorched Grove.
It's lucky
Alright.
I got them then, isn't it?
It is. Somewhat suspiciously, actually.
Oh, shit. I didn't think of that.
Can I insight? This is kind of like a third-hand insight, but like the fact that they're sending us to the place which is very close to where we want to be to investigate.
Yeah,
them.
where the people are, the kidnapped people.
A 13. It's if anything, that's a coincidence, and I don't trust coincidences.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a good 6 to 8 hour travel from one to the other.
Yeah.
And it also does occur to you, why the hell would they be sending you to near the place they don't want you to go?
But the place that they would be sending us is potentially quite dangerous, right?
Potentially.
Yeah.
Well,
Can I
so you-
insight as well, retrospectively, given my interaction with Larimar that I just had?
Yeah, but you would be... So what you're talking about really is how suspicious does this seem to me, which is not something you need to roll for, really. It's really just you can decide for your own selves. If you want to incite Larimar and whether or not she is deliberately sending you on a suicide mission, you are welcome to do that. Ereq wasn't there, so couldn't really insight for that, I suppose, is the point I'm making.
Okay, I would like to insight kind of my read on Larimar with this kind of concept in mind, like
All right.
with this kind of
This will be
we'll
looking
send them
back,
off to die
however.
here track with
This
kind
would
of
be looking back, however.
yes, this is
Yeah.
retrospectively, not as in the moment.
Yeah.
11, so I feel I don't know.
Not really. It doesn't strike you as, like, it could just be a coincidence. What Bennick has is not publicly known information. And this is entirely in keeping with what they've asked you before, and it does look rather like Larimar is trying to placate you.
Yes, it does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I feel like she doesn't like that I'm mad at her, which does give me an intoxicating sense of power.
Careful
Man,
with
I
that.
don't mention it, but just in case, I cast Detect Magic while Ereq is looking at the papers.
Oh, sure.
Interesting.
On the papers? Or just generally?
Well, it's on
It's
me, so you
everywhere.
get to see. Yeah,
It's a 60-foot range?
30 feet.
30
I
feet.
think.
There is quite a bit
Yeah,
of magic.
30.
Julio has a weird tube strapped to a crossbow stock slung on their shoulder. Ereq is just magic. Actually, Eric's face particularly is very magic. I think the left cheek particularly. Kesh has a magic bow on her back, but the sheaf of parchment that she was given is not magical.
Great, and then within 30 feet,
Actually,
we're
do
not being...
apologize. There is a slight magic residue on one of the pieces of paper. It's the one with the picture of the elemental on it.
I get to know its school of magic if it has any.
It would be prestidigitation.
Ah, okay.
It's
So
basically
somebody
used,
just like marked it.
it
with
was used to
prestidigitation.
so that they couldn't draw
Great.
it properly. Yeah.
And
That's fairly
It's-
benign, though. Like that's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
that would be
it's-
a
No, no, no,
normal
no.
thing.
we're not being watched within 30 feet. There's no like a scrying sensor.
You're definitely not being scried on right now. No.
Great.
There's more. Thank you for these. I will take a look. I think I'm probably one of the best equipped people to compare the handwriting, but would be happy for a bit of oversight.
I
But
suggest we get out of Dodge before we start.
yeah, yes.
I
Absolutely.
assume you're having this conversation whilst walking, rather than just
Yeah.
standing around in the middle of a square outside the hung drawn.
Look at all this evidence.
Right under her window.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah, standing on the sky.
It's really dodgy.
Sky blue
Is that a
carpet
sniper
under your
rifle
foot.
that black?
There's a red spot on your chest.
Oh, no, that's just my feather.
Yeah.
The reason why, and I whisper this, the reason why Havel refused to give me orders to go back to the Scorched Grove was because my grandmother has been sticking her beak where it doesn't belong again. She made a request that I be reassigned away from you, Kesh, because you were deemed to be dangerous people.
Well, doesn't that just tickle my tail?
Well, I like this catchphrase. You should keep this up.
All
Not a
right.
good
Since when was that?
catchphrase or a bad catchphrase?
It's better than sussy flower. Let's put it that way.
I am hurt on Daria's behalf.
What
It's fine,
I
I'm used to it, Karen.
what I don't know is whether she thinks you're dangerous because we happen to do dangerous things, or whether she's aware that you have a target on your head. She is the kind of person who would be running in those circles. and enough people owe her favors that someone might say to her, Iari, your grandson is associating with someone with a target on her head, and therefore he might also have one.
Eric.
This is speculation, but
Eric, like, I wasn't planning on kicking you out of my gang, but I'm definitely not now. I feel like if she feels like wanting to kill me, she's not going to risk doing it if you're right there.
Well, she would be only one of several people that I would be concerned about targeting you. Sorry, that probably doesn't make you feel much better.
Look,
but Kesh...
How much do you go for Kesh, by the way, out of curiosity?
Bennick is very poor.
I haven't been paid in quite a while.
Well, I'm very poor now too, but I've got this lovely gold earring you're welcome to. It's worth about 75 gold.
Wow. I feel like that was my whole attire worth of gold for the wedding, but concentrated on your earring.
Look, because I already have smearing, so I don't need it. And if you're feeling a bit poor, you know, you're part of the gang now. Welcome.
Oh, it's not as fun as snatch it.
Listen, Kesh, and I stuck with her. After everything that we've been through so far, I mean, the two of you aside, the two of you are great, but it's been you and me from the start of this thing, and I have no intention of leaving.
If I may make a little pun, Eric, having
Please.
you around gives me hope.
And I think we'll
Fist
leave
bump.
it there.
Nice.
Because that was a good point. So,
Aw.
guys.
What a sesh, folks.
What
a
a
sesh. Thank you.
bloody sesh. Yeah. So I need to thank Serum for his amazing work behind the scenes, getting our character cards and our overlays all done. I need to thank Karen for her love and support. I need to thank Daria for amazing artwork. We don't thank her often enough. And I need to thank Brendan for being awesome, and Dan for coming over and bringing us Bennick, special guest. Woo!
Yeah.
There may be plans that Dan might stay a while.
What?
What? What?
What?
A new character every session.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good cycle.
Next time he'll be Larimar.
He's going to have a menagerie of 7 of them, and they're all going to meet in the same location.
And we'll make a
Yeah.
little wheel and we'll spin it.
The Wheel of Dan.
I'll just have it in the back and be like, who is it today?
Yeah, one-shot roulette. Now, as always, I'd like to give some favorite moments from the session. Chat, please throw yours up as well. I'd love to see what you think. I apologize, guys, that it ran on a little longer than we intended. It was partially the stoppage in the middle. So yeah.
Damn you, NBN.
Yeah. Favorite moments, and the problem is, yeah, we can't just have one person drop off. If it's me, the whole thing sort of dies, and Karen goes too. So, favorite moments. Who wants to begin? Try and do the.
I
Who
think
are
we
we
should start
talking
with our
about?
special guests.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should. Favorite Dan moments. Favorite Bennick.
Having a meltdown over enchanting the steel nest. Just being so desperately unsure about what would be best in this scenario.
Yeah.
It's adorable.
God, what an awkward boy. -1 wisdom, -1
So good.
charisma. It's like, he's doomed. He's doomed from the start.
Yeah, that was mine as well. I mean, it was really a shared moment between Bennick and Julio, but
Yeah.
their shared complete and utter meltdown and panic attack over just this very kind of offhand kind of comment, here's some money, and, you know, if you feel bad, pick me up something nice too. You just, there was a lot there. It was very funny.
I'm going to go back very much to the very beginning of Bennick today, and the conversation with all the other defenders of Alderheart, in which we made you roleplay with yourself, but yourself speaking through Jude's voice as well, the added level of difficulty.
Oh my God. I still need to be like, what is Jude?
Yeah, that was really, really solid. And in fact, I'm going to say my favorite Dan moment was actually before we began. I sent Dan the letter that that Kral, they're not the same person, wrote beforehand. And Dan gave me some feedback on the way Bennett would react to it, and I'm actually going to say that was my favorite moment because it was really solid, really well thought out, cleverly. I was just like, you pointed out that you would not lie to the others, and I was just like, I would never mention that you should, but that's really interesting point because it is sort of implicit that that Kral would be like, don't do that.
Don't say it. Yeah.
He didn't say that, but it was sort of implied that just don't mention it to anybody. But of course you would tell, and I don't think Kral would expect you to not tell them. But selling them on the idea, how you went about selling them all that this was a good idea was an interesting conversation for me, and I enjoyed it. And I'm always take too long when I'm doing mine. Someone else tell Dan how great it is.
Well, I liked the very end where Benek nonchalantly asks how much for assassinating Kesh, right? Like to Kesh. I love that. That's very good.
Costellan, I'm afraid we're just doing favorite moments. We did run a little long. We did have an outage in the middle, sadly. But we are back doing our favorite little moments. Dan, favorite self moment?
I was gonna say, I had two. One was also being like, "What do you mean I enchanted it? I didn't enchant it at all. I didn't have the time to do that." But also at the start of being like, hold up, I haven't eaten yet. I'm just gonna go get food before I get into the nitty-gritty.
I'm all hangry. I need to deal with this.
Yeah.
I have jet lag from teleport.
Very well. Okay. That's Dan. He is very good. Who else should we talk to? I think Julio would be the logical person to go to next after that, because I think a lot of our favorite Dan moments were also favorite Dario moments. I almost regret putting you two in the same stream because it's so cute that you both... It's just great. Julio is... We've never seen him that awkward before. He's normally pretty swish and smooth. I'm going to say my favorite Dario moment, however, was the suggestion that you go down to the dirty part of town and look for some sussy flour. The sussy flower particularly was a fun running theme, but my favorite moment was that idea. It was a really cool idea. That was the only time I really had to go, okay, let's make some shit up on the fly. Yeah. Or what that is, what's happening in the world. I just hadn't really thought about it. Cool. Well done. I like that.
Well, I always play Julio as as a goofy, kind of lighthearted dude, but like he's been through like shit. He can be serious if the situation calls for it.
Definitely.
Yeah, Julio's like mega sweetie. I love him so much. And I love how just he's in. Julio's like, it's cool, I'm in. Let's go. Let's do it. I also love that Julio's idea was to like go and skulk around like the lower branches and like find out sus stuff. It was really quite inspired, really. It was a really good information gathering exercise. So cute and clever.
Oh
yeah. That felt really good actually, because Kesh and Ereq had very clear kind of points to reference, to go to.
Yeah.
And I was really not sure what Dario was going to do with that. So having that idea of like, yeah, I'm so glad that you have found Julio's niche in this group. I was really happy about. I mean, I really love having you on stream with us, Dario, because you're so funny and you unashamedly spout out all the memes and jokes that I am thinking but wouldn't. So I really appreciate that. There's a few one-liners like that sounds like my diet, AO, which I'm not going to repeat what that was in reference to. But I mean, the shared moment with Benek of freaking out about buying something was really cute. But what my favorite moment was immediately preceding that where you were recapping the events of the last day, of how kind of fucked everything was, and that you knew kind of how, or you intuited that this would be really important to Ereq to not fuck this up. Showed a lot of emotional intelligence of Julio, that he cared a lot about this group and this task. So that was very cute.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was like one of the things I was gonna say. Also, with the idea of like, by the way, this is like low-key comfort, but it did not. It had opposite effect. But I think there isn't really like a moment per se, but when we had that scene together, it was so natural, just bouncing off of you, just having our own collective panic attack. And that was so fun.
Nerds of the West, thank you so much for the raid. Pew, 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 pew. Finger guns in chat. We are just doing our favorite moments. Quirky Maple, Situated Curve, good to see you, my friends. Yes, we are. You have actually, unfortunately, missed us doing our D&D. We're just doing our favorite moments, talking about how great we were today. It sounds arrogant, but we were excellent. You should check out the VODs because it was very funny. I would endorse just checking out the last 20-30 minutes of this one to see Bennick and Julio just breaking down over buying a present for someone in an offhand sort of way. It was great. Yeah, we do this because it's hard being an artist, and it's important to identify when you did well. Yeah. Thank you very much for the follow, 80s Radio, Rulo? 80s Rule. 80s do rule. I appreciate that. Thank you very much for the follow. Welcome. This is a D&D channel where we shit talk, and on Tuesday nights I play Total Warhammer, and we're talking about how good Daria was this evening. Daria, favorite self moment?
Well, yeah, obviously I really enjoyed hanging with Bennick and us being nervous about presents, because that's very relatable. That's me in real life. But to be honest, one moment that I enjoyed was kind of unearthing the well-hidden spine that Julio has, and saying to Ereq that, hey, you actually don't know like how these people like get into the world of crime. So like maybe don't say, hey, good for us for not having them, you know, because I don't know, this is like a recurring theme with Julio, like giving people second chances. Like that's why he was so like dead set on like talking to Riley before that and everything, you know, that's his thing.
Very cool, very good. All right, let's talk about Kesh. Talk about Karen.
What a badass. I loved that moment where he just like, no words, just plop 500 gold on the table, like, here.
Boom.
Fucking badass.
Yeah, I've been making some coin.
Well, I have been fired. I don't know why you're complaining about it. Your monthly wage would be like 20 gold pieces plus room and board. Like,
Kesh cares about her peeps, okay?
yeah, no, dead set. I quite enjoyed the failed persuasion check to I'm going in and then just going in anyway. And that was really fun for me.
The dice can't stop me.
Well, I really love that the dice helped tell the story, because I was like, all right, give me a survival check, and yeah, you didn't convince the guy, but you did sort of make him lead you there, and it just changed the way the scene worked, and the dice lent into, or we utilized the dice to tell the story, and it was really cool. And that whole, my favorite Karen moment was that whole scene where you basically trying to get that information out of her, the idea to steal the thing from the out tray and then fucking it up so royally, and then just going, oh, that person, yeah, I'm glad they're well. Your whole recovery there was
definitely not
excellent.
doing anything sus.
Yeah. Very good.
Thank you.
I'll just jump off there, and I think that this game, at least, because I saw it, was like the my favorite just Karen skill, it's not so much like a moment in general, is like adapting to all the fucking curveballs. Because
Yeah.
it's like, yes, I'm gonna go meet with Shiloh Den. It's not Shiloh Den, by the way. And we're like, oh, right, so here we go. This is where I'm at now.
Let's do it anyway.
Yeah, love it.
Yeah, solid.
Yeah, I might jump in on that because you're super right, Dan, that is one of Karen's general strengths, is her adaptability, and being able to be spontaneous and kind of roll with everyone's offers. So I appreciate that about you, Karen, of having done this stream with you now for 16 sessions or whatever. So I appreciate that.
17 and a 2-shot over, so nearly 20 now that you Ereq and Kesh have been friends.
Yeah, that's true. But I liked. I mean, you wanted to do this anyway, but I liked you kind of rolling up, you donating your funds as your reason for getting into the office. I thought that was really a clever idea.
That was very clever. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was cool, and also I liked that little moment at the end where we kind of reaffirmed where we stand with each other.
We
nice.
good. We fam. Self moment.
Oh gosh, I did really like that moment with Ereq at the end. That was really nice.
Yeah.
Oh, but I also, and like, it's that weird thing where you don't know how much of it is you as a player kind of rolling with things and how much is kind of the character coming through. But I love that Kesh had like a moment where she's like, this is a lot. How many subterfuges have we uncovered today? This is a lot. And then she's like, you know what? I'm just going to walk into her office and fucking steal some shit.
When you could have just asked nicely.
I could have just asked nicely. But I loved that she kind of has moments where she's like, this is too much for Kesh. Literally. And then she's like, oh, fuck it. Let's just go for it. I like her energy in those moments.
Yes.
Like, we're doing this.
I actually have one more about it, actually, and it comes off that. Kesh is, and Ereq is too, but there is, Kesh is a beautiful counterpoint to the chaos of the other three. Ereq is only occasionally, but Kesh is like reliably the other, is the not the straight man because she's funny too, but like she is the reliable one. She's the grown up, and it's really cool because I know Karen very well, and it's not her, so she's role playing very well.
My wife is generally incredibly unreliable.
She's
but
incredibly-
when she's
Yeah,
up to
wow.
straight-
What a compliment.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's true.
Yeah, remember
though.
that bus from the beginning of the session? It's coming.
Yeah.
Oh. The bus.
Alrighty, let's talk about
Lucky
Brendan.
flower.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
because
my God.
Brendan was
So
very,
much.
very solid this evening.
I
really
love.
like.
Oh.
Oh.
Go.
I loved Brendan finding out his granny's like being. And I love that he didn't even have to say who it was. He's like, didn't realize my grandma had so much pull.
And-
why did I let you go first? You guys
Sorry,
stole my
Dara.
moment. Oh.
And the look on Havel's face, I did not necessarily specify, but it was like mortified. Like he was like, "Oh my god, he's good. Oh dear.
It's not a leap.
If birds could
Yeah.
blush, yeah." Yeah, it wasn't that much of a
Had a
leap,
moment of
but
spontaneous evolution so he could blush when Ereq
Yeah.
called him on his
well, he
granny's
actually has he actually has red feathers on his cheeks anyway. But yeah, yeah. Go on then,
He's a
Daria.
rooster, right? He's a rooster.
Yeah, not quite.
Turkey?
Yeah, sort of a.
He's a turkey.
I'll go find a picture. You guys carry on.
Feeling like
well,
a turkey right now.
Since Karen yoinked the moment, there was another one that I really liked. Was the awkward exchange with that lady. I don't know who she is in the lab.
Okay.
Yeah. This
Gabby.
I
is
don't know
yeah.
what's the deal
Gabby,
is, but
who
like,
the DM has tried to ship Ereq with, and Ereq is not having it.
I did it once, and then everybody leant in so hard, and I was just like, well, it is now. But it was
Yeah.
not my intent, and then I found out how awkward it made Ereq.
yeah, it was so awkward. I loved it.
There he is.
My favorite Brendan / Eric moment, I think, was when like I was introduced and we shared a moment about the wedding in particular. Being like, I hated the jail bit, and you were like, same. And there's just like such a kindred soul, and also like reading it in, so be like, so the plot, by the way. Right after we got back. Loved it.
And I don't know if it was clear or not, but like what I liked about that moment, he's like a pigeon type thing.
Yeah, he's a gallus,
I thought it
technically
was
speaking.
like a pheasant.
Like a pheasant.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think.
Yeah.
Pheasant.
Yeah.
Wow, I said that so goofy.
I wasn't
Yeah.
sure if you were like
regal. He's a
pheasant.
I heard you like swirl your wine somehow.
Listen, I don't normally talk about different kinds of birds.
No.
So it's a shot in the dark every time.
I was impressed. I was just like, I'm going to assume that Daria has never heard that word said out loud.
How dare? I mean, true, but how dare?
I mean, no, we're in no position.
No, I'm not in any way judging. I'm
No.
just like, that's really cool that you know the word for pheasant in English, but you've never heard it out loud, but you still know what it is.
Josh, you're married to a woman who said agave for frickin' years until someone put me out of my misery.
What? It's not a gave?
Oh, sorry, no, I said agave for years.
Right.
Until I said agave for years, and then someone finally went, "Do you mean agave?" And I'm like, "Oh God."
There are other words that you.
Yeah, like chamomile. Fucking hate that word. Like, why?
Chamomile, yeah.
Chamomile, yeah.
But to bring this back on
English sucks. Yeah.
English is the worst. But no, I liked that little moment with Bennick there was a moment of asking, is Trish here? Before he could
Wait,
relax.
is she here? Oh, okay, good.
Yeah. Which was good.
She gonna punch me in the hung, drawn, and quartered?
Yeah, moments.
I haven't said a favorite Eric yet, but
Sorry.
But no, I won't try and escape. My favorite Eric was, the second meeting with Havel. And that nat 20, I was like, well, shit, I'm just going to have to tell you everything. This is cool.
Amazing.
I was really glad. So that was actually hinted at last time, in the last session, when he was like, maybe you could come and work here instead. He'd already, but getting to be like specific, and that was fun. But just how you reacted, how Eric was just like, oh, my grandma's pulling shit again, was very, very cool. He's grown a spine. Like, he was not a forceful boy in the first few eps, and he has grown a spine.
Yeah, that's probably was my favorite self moment. And is also wrapped up in my favorite DM moment, so this is a great segue.
Very well, let's do that.
I did not pick up on that at all. But I also liked, it's not always the way that it would happen. Like when you roll an insight, usually the DM kind of says out of character, this is what you're picking up. But the fact that you chose to have Havel just come out and say that, like almost like he could tell that Eric was just seeing through his bullshit, and just had the respect to just be completely forthright with him, led to a really fantastic scene. But what I like exploring with Eric is that ordinarily he's fairly calm and collected. and reserved, but then when something triggers him, he just fucking snaps.
Yeah.
And blows up.
Yeah.
So that's been really fun to explore, and that was a really nice opportunity to do that.
Rick is such an anime boy. Like, you know, anime anger? When it just fucking flares around you.
Yeah,
and
his feathers go poof.
Yeah, and the aura just sizzles through. Yeah, it's so anime.
D-Rab has a favourite chat moment.
That wasn't what I was going for when I went into the backstory and the writing of this deeply complex, emotional character. But thank you for boiling it down to anime boy.
Roll with it, man. It's cool.
Yeah. No, Daria's right.
Yeah. You have the anime classic feather as well. Yeah, the streak.
Yeah.
You're right. He's incredibly
so main
anime.
character.
I mean, this is the person who
Main
drew him.
character
Yeah. I do have a favourite chat moment as well, and it was it was Castellan coming in on the sex cult. I've really enjoyed chat today. I've been really enjoyed the interactivity today. Chat's been fantastic.
Yeah, you've had a great energy tonight, chat.
Yeah, I have
But yes,
appreciated it.
throwing this back to DM, I really, I really enjoyed that. I mean, that threw me for a loop, as well as Ereq. Like, I was thinking, I almost said, look, we don't need to roleplay this. I go to Havel. He says yes.
He gives me the thing I want, and then I leave.
Yeah. So that evolved in a really unexpected way. You know, as much as you, out of character, keep saying, no, guys, Havel is not asking Ereq out on dates, there was definitely that vibe put out again of like,
come back.
Hey, please come back.
Yeah. Maybe not, but maybe.
He
Imagine the
wants to
love
be your
triangle.
platonic life partner.
No, Havel, Ereq, and this Gabby. Gabby. Ooh, the love triangle, the drama. I live for this.
Unfortunately, Havel isn't into girls.
Yeah, but the love triangle is like both like Ereq. That's how love triangles
it's a love chevron.
Yeah. It's a love chevron.
Ereq is the station, and there are
Chevron,
two trains.
baby, love,
Yes.
Chevron.
Love chevron.
Love chevron. Yeah.
Excellent.
Also, speaking of DM keeping us on our toes, I liked that we talked. Well, we definitely should talk to Shyla. Ereq is like, I don't know, like, kind of situation is difficult, and then whoop, there is no Shyla. That was so like, that's where the sus hits the fan. That's when you understand that something is not right at all.
The flower hits the fan and you go poof, sus flower everywhere.
Yeah, it was funny how Josh was saying, you know, Ereq had kind of said, oh, well, if they supplanted you with someone, then that's a sus person. And Josh is like, no, that's definitely not the case.
Here's the sus
this
person,
particular person is incorruptible. Anyway, he's someone else.
Yeah, that's why it's not
Thank
here.
God. So have fun with that.
Yeah, that was fun for me. I actually, I'll admit, I did muck up a little bit last week because Larimar said Shyla Den will be replaced with you. And that was actually a mistake on my part. Nils was already in that position at that time. But yeah.
It's just more deception.
Yeah.
We
We can't trust you right now, yeah.
Yeah, Larimar. Dirty, naughty person.
Cool.
Sassy Amargus.
So much sus.
I'm
My
having to
favorite-
Google words every week.
Oh my god.
You need to have a list.
Listen, last week I googled the fucking staff, the crozier, whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah.
Now it's your turn.
My favorite DM moment was actually just like yes-ending the sending plan, the sending solution. Because I was like, I'm a wizard, I would know that. I didn't even double check that with you. I was like, yeah, you could probably just buy it if you're rich enough, or, you know, get somebody else to do it. It's probably an industry.
And I was like, oh my god, yeah, no, totally, there would be. It's actually a really good idea. Yeah, there's a telegraph office, but it's sending spells. Yeah.
And sexting, but with message.
This is
I'm
what
just imagining being that guy of like, oh, I want to follow your cloaca.
Yeah.
And it's
Listen,
not.
you just
Feather you. I can't wait
now-
to pluck you.
You're just describing how my KGB agent feels whenever they look my search history. That's a job, by the way.
I'm sure it is.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
I'm gonna
We're
have to
all on a
suggest that to
list,
the
by the
dean
way.
and be like, you should have that as part of the ad for the AVM. I'm certain.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also, no one gets to read your sexts.
Yeah.
You only need to
I
be a level
really love the idea now of a KGB member just reading the Daria's Rule 34 search history.
Yeah, my bird porn. Yeah, my stash of bird porn.
all your greens and
no.
cock.
Revealed.
See, now I just want to come up with weird shit for you to Google to fuck with.
Yeah.
And chat, if you would like to submit Rule 34, then you're more than welcome to.
Oh,
Oh, no.
good.
Don't-
Do it via Twitter.
No, guys, we're all, the 5 of us are already on a list somewhere. We don't need you
Yay.
guys to be there as well.
There's a reason why I lurk.
I'm trying to think of a favorite me moment so we can go away. I think my favorite me moment was my thinking on the fly, coming up with answers to Daria's very good questions. I had to make up 2 gang names. One of them I'm quite proud of. The Breakers are cool. The 6th Alley Crew was a bit lame. I was really
I like that. I like that one. That was my favorite.
Okay.
Me
Yeah,
too.
I liked it as well.
Yeah.
I was like,
Alright.
there's a story there.
I wanted to.
I was like,
I wanted to
ooh.
call one the gang, but or the firm. No, it was the firm. After,
No, but it's like you
yeah.
get your contraband at the 6th alley. I thought that was rad.
Okay.
I don't
Well,
think, Dan. I don't think they dab when they say it though.
I think they do. They
No,
do
they're
now.
contraband,
These are bird
contraband.
folk. They wing dab. Contradab.
They don't know who each other are, so when they're loitering, they see each other and they
it's
go.
their, like, it's their secret.
It's their
handshake.
call
Are you
sign.
cool? Are you cool? Yeah.
Guys, it's 11 p.m. We should
Okay, we'll go away from here now. Guys, who the absolute heck are you all? And what are you doing in my house? Brendan.
When I'm not dabbing and bothering my friends, I'm directing and acting in Perth. Just came off the back of a very successful season, so you missed out, so unlucky.
Wow.
I'll
It
probably...
really that sucks to be you, huh?
Yeah.
I will probably be doing something else soon, but in the meantime, I'm going to be here doing this show, and it's very cool. So if you can bear all of the fucking memes that we keep going through, please stick with us, because this has been a lot of fun for me.
Yes. Same. Karen.
Hi, I'm Karen. I'm in Josh's house because I live here.
Oh, valid.
I'm also a performer, a writer. Apparently, I have opinions on things, which I'm just discovering today. And I'm trying to think of a final opinion to have for the night.
We'll get back to you. Daria.
Yes. I am also in Josh's house, but they don't know about that yet. It's gonna be a surprise. Find me in the walls, bitch. But no, my name is Daria. I'm an artist. I also play D&D here and on Mondays on the Eldritch Scribe Twitch channel. Both are very fun for me, and I would love to see you guys again. It was very fun.
Very well. Dan.
Hello, I am Dan in the meat space, Deerb in the cyberspace. I am in Josh's house because I simmer underneath the tumult of modern society, lurking, exuding the good vibes, because somebody has to. And you will get them, whether you like it or not.
Jesus. That explains why the floor is warm. Madame et
By
Monsieur
the way,
Dame.
I'm in Josh's house because I was invited.
Yeah.
Oh,
Brendan
wow.
is the only
Aren't
one who
they?
lives near us. Madame and Monsieur, Dama under Heron, and beings of indeterminate gender and persuasion, I be Josh the Pirate. My housemate has just gone to bed, so I'm keeping my voice down a little bit. You can find me here on Corsair's Cove, which is my channel that I run with my good lady wife. But you did that. Well done. Keep doing it. We do D&D. We have ridiculous silly times on Monday and Thursday nights with D&D, and sometimes we also do Total Warhammer on Tuesday nights. This coming Tuesday, Karen might be playing a game because I might have work. She doesn't know that yet. She's literally just found that out.
What are you doing on Tuesday that I don't know about?
I might be on camera. There's a shoot.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I'll think of something to do. Bunny Park, or I could follow through my promise to play Croc, which was my favorite game when I was a kid.
If you don't come here and find me on Corsair's Cove, I am occasionally over on Phoenixy Wacky and Roll for Damage sometimes. And if not, in the real life meat space, I can be found in the podcast There Be Dragons, which actually isn't in the real life meat space, that's also in the cyberspace. But I'm also I'm one half of the comedy puppet duo Pupperotica. So I do loads of things all over the place. I'm an art infestation across the internet webs and also in Perth. Guys, thank you so much for coming and joining us tonight. I just need to talk to you about, firstly, Jasper's Game Week. I am going to be DMing a game. I will also be playing in another. If you want to buy tickets to sit at the table in those games and play with me, either as a DM or as a fellow player, then you can bid on the auction for those seats. One of the bottom link of those ones gets you there. And the prices are rising because more and more people want to do it, which is kind of cool. It does my ego no end of good. So please go over and bid on those. The other thing that we are talking about right now, and have been for a while, is Ukraine. Daria, would you like to speak passionately about Ukraine, or would Karen like to do it?
I would like to speak passionately, but I do live in Russia, so...
Very well. Karen, you speak passionately about it. We don't
Ukraine.
need... We don't need to give the KGB agent anything else to talk about.
They're probably already snooping.
Yeah.
So Ukraine, for the uninitiated, is a country in Eastern Europe that I discovered when I briefly Wikipedia'd it on my break, is the largest country in Europe apart from Russia.
Yeah.
Which might be why Russia wants it so much, because it feels threatened. Anyway, so Russia is in Ukraine. It is balls deep in Ukraine and causing a lot of trouble. And if you would like to help the Ukrainians that are fleeing violence, because I don't know if you've seen any of the pictures, it's horrible.
It's not great.
I think 8 million Ukrainians have been displaced by the conflict so far. So in chat, there is the link to the Emergency Action Appeal, which is a group of charities, not-for-profits, that have come together to try and help as many people as possible. And you can donate via the link. Last time I checked, they had raised nearly $2 million. The Australian government is also donating $2 million. So it is going great. Please give what you can, if you can, because it sucks over there. And hopefully we can make it a tiny bit better for someone. A little bit. Sorry, I'm really bad at talking about terrible things.
Yeah. On a different note, you are welcome to follow us on all the socials, and we have a fully updated YouTube, including the lost, missing, mystery Humblewood episode where you can catch up on the heist that Tavernish Fawkes and his gang did, stealing the 500 gold that Kesh has since replaced. And the other half of that as well, the other 500 gold.
From my own hard-earned money.
You did, from your own hard-murdered money. So, guys, we will go away from here now and raid, and I think we'll raid somebody new. Vicky is streaming, but I think we should raid somebody new every now and again. And Flansois is streaming D&D. It looks like they are an amateur D&D cartographer, keyboard enthusiast, and weeb. And they are streaming, looks like a live game of D&D, so we'll go and drop a raid on them. Where are we? Back? It does look pretty good. Channel. And then I need to go to create a dashboard. And then I need to press the button for raid.
So many buttons.
And then I need to press Flansois.
Which is a cool name.
It is. So, guys, chuck your favourite raid emotes up in chat. Tell Flansoir where you came from. Show them the love like we always do. And we will see you next time on Corsair's Cove. So, thank you very much for coming with us. And I'm going to start that raid now and say goodbye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Take care.
Bye.